Alright, aloha and welcome back, Light Guardian, shifters, dreamers within the dream. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Happy special August 31st, Monday edition, last inspirational tarot reading of the month is what this is today. So this is going to be an extra special version of the broadcast for us to be able to gather here, for us to be able to hang out one last time, to be able to work towards our Patreon objectives, to be able to invite more people to be able to join as leading members, and of course to be able to do some awesome inspirational team tarot reading for anybody joined in. Once we get 10 people in the YouTube chat, we're going to get right into our first reading. So for those of you on TikTok or Instagram, go ahead and click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. And again, through YouTube, you can take part in what we do. We have like this little mini game that we do for the first reading. It's pretty cool. It's like a number guessing psychic training mini game. So for those of you on Instagram or TikTok, do me a favor and click the link in my profile on YouTube, and once we have 10 people on the YouTube, we're gonna get right into our first reading there. And thank you again, everyone, so much for joining in. Looks like we got things rolling on all platforms. If you guys are tuned in on the YouTube chat, go ahead, drop those comments in the chat, drop some 1111s in the chat just to be able to confirm that you guys can hear me okay, and we'll give people a chance just to be able to get all situated and to be able to get ready. And we're gonna get right into our first reading as soon as we have everyone on board. So again, once we have 10 people in the YouTube chat, we're gonna get right into our first reading by doing our first little mini game. And I'll explain the instructions for that in the next moment. So welcome, awesome. Welcome to Roxanne, welcome to Pin Oaks, welcome to those of you who are tuned in on Instagram or TikTok. Again, if you guys are tuned in on TikTok, click the link in my profile, join in on YouTube, and that's where you can take part in our first little mini game for our tarot reading. So quick introduction, as we get people situated, we're going to have 10 people in the next moment, so let's get right into our first mini game for our first reading. These readings, the way how we do them, this is in the context of us growing as a team of shifters, light guardians, people who are actively helping assist with the shifting consciousness. These readings are not fortune tellings, they're not psychic readings, they're using the cards as a way for us to be able to see them as a mirror, for us to be able to see more of ourselves, for them to be able to remind us of important themes, archetypes, valuable information that's going to help assist us on our journey by giving us more clarity, insight, and inspiration. So we've been doing these readings for quite some time, and like every time we do them, people are just like, yo, like I needed to hear that. And again, it's not just the card reading, it's also the vibe that we got here as a team, guys. Like we got like a really cool place here. And again, for those of you just joining, we got enough people in the chat. We're gonna get right into our first reading. This is our special final team tarot reading of the month edition. So for those of you who are familiar, again, we're doing the tarot readings, but we're also inviting people to be able to connect further on the team as leading members, which is when you can join on my Patreon with a monthly contribution there. So again, when you join on the Patreon, you're helping us reach our next Patreon goal. You can see we're currently at 110, and the Patreon processes on the first of each month. So this being the last day of the month, it's just like, yeah, let's like work on inviting more people to join the Patreon. And when you join the Patreon, that's where you can join as a leading member in our community, and that will give you full access to the team chat, access to our collaborative work periods to support you as a conscious creator. Lots of really cool value. So if you are like a conscious creator, someone who, you know, if you look at my content and you're just like, whoa, I want to make content like that, or I just feel like I want to create spiritual content, I want to practice leveling up, I want to practice sharing my voice, I want to maybe get outside of my comfort zone and reclaim like my ability to be able to like share my truth and everything like that, then definitely check out the Patreon. Guys, if you're already signed up for the Patreon, go ahead and plug it. I'm not going to talk about it too much right now, but let's work on getting our first sign up by 10 p.m. tonight, and we're going to get right into our first reading. And again, the Patreon, it's a monthly contribution of $11, and when you join on there, that gives you access as a leading member, which is our private community space. And I help you guys build your own Patreon as like spiritual conscious entrepreneurs. We had a really good team meeting today, and you guys can actually check that out for free online. Like after this, go check out that broadcast just to be able to get some ideas and be like, whoa, okay, this is actually something I'm really interested in, and then you guys can connect further. But either way, you guys are welcome to connect to our team chat, our Discord server, etc. Let's get right into this first reading. Thank you guys for holding space. Thank you for everyone joining in on all platforms. What we're going to do, we're going to get right into our first reading by doing a little mini game. And then after that, additional people who sign up for the Patreon will help facilitate the readings beyond that point. But the way how the minigame works, I'm going to pick a number. I'm going to give you a bracket for the number, and then you guys are going to take guesses, 3 guesses each, 1 guess at a time. First person who guesses the number correctly will be the person that wins the mini. Hooray, you win the mini game, and then you'll get to help facilitate our first reading. But again, the way how we do this is by also being able to do the readings as a collective. So every person who's here, every reading is for every person. If you are tuned in, every single card is for you. Every single reading is for you. We set the intention, show us what we need to see. We being the collective, we being the individual, we being the community. So we being the team. Okay, team, let's get ready to move into this. Thank you guys so much. If you're a shifter, drop an 1111 in the chat. If you're a shifter, if you're a light guardian, be like, I am a shifter, I am a light guardian, I am Canadian. Sorry, that's a old Canadian commercial that not most of my audience would have no context of. Anybody here tuned in from Canada? All right, team, I'm gonna pick this number. Let's get right into it. For those of you who are new, again, just vibe out in the chat. Minigame is only for people who are tuned in on YouTube. That's because we need to keep it synchronized. So again, if you guys are on TikTok, click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. And I'm gonna pick this number. Let's get right into this. Okay. Pew, 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 pew. All right, I got the number. Okay. I'm going to tell you the bracket. For those of you in the YouTube chat, once I tell you the bracket, you can make your guesses 1 guess at a time, 3 guesses total. Do not spam the chat, and try to, I just poke myself in the eye, try to strategize where you're not repeating the same numbers of the person before you. And so there's a strategy here. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to tell you the bracket. The bracket is between 100 and 130. The bracket is between 100 and 130. For those of you who are in the YouTube chat, only the YouTube chat, it only counts if you're in the YouTube chat. Make your guesses now, 1 guess at a time, 3 guesses total. First person to guess this number will be the first person to help facilitate our first reading. And yeah, let's get into this, and the numbers will come in a second. I'll do my like race announcer voice. Apparently, maybe I was a race announcer in my past life or something like that, or in like a quantum parallel reality or something. I don't know. Comes in handy or something like that. All right, team. Thank you again, everyone. If you're not on the YouTube channel, click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. And here come the numbers out the gate. We've got Pisces dropping in with a 106 and Rasta right behind them with a 120. And we've got Karen with a 123, Hot Dog, Hatch Dog with a 108, and Toby with a 117. We've got Unicorn Guts. Great name, with a 111, and Pinogs with a 112. Behind them, we've got Roxanne with 133 and Kyle with a 121. And behind them, we've got 114 coming in by 1 and Julian with a 108. And we've got Elizabeth coming in with a 112. Someone's going to get it. They're narrowing in on it. They are getting close. Who's it going to be? We've got Maribel dropping in with a 116, and we've got Unicorn Guts with a 115, and the next guest behind them, again, if you guys, there's still some people who haven't guessed yet. Keep going, guys, keep going. There's like a delay in the chat, so but yes, there's like a little bit of a pause. And here they come. They're coming around the corner still, and Pisces comes out with a 118, and then behind them is Pinox with a well calculated 101, a valid guess indeed. And behind them we've got Toby with a 119. You can tell they're strategizing. This is where the psychic intuition comes into play. Rasta behind them with a 107, and Roxanne with a 106. Toby with their third guess of a 102. Elizabeth with their guess of a 110. Julian with a 126. $1. No, that's 50. Oh, I thought it's the one. That'd be funny if someone's like $1, Bob. Like price is the wrong game, but that's still funny. I feel I would do that. Anyways, and we've got Kyle with 108. Looks like we're starting to get in the duplicates. I'm actually quite surprised that no one's got it yet. It usually doesn't take too long, but they're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. If you've taken 3 guesses already, you can put in another guess. So go ahead. And Pisces with their next guess of 129, and Hatchdog with a 103. You can tell that they are calculating. You can literally tell people are like taking one, be like, what hasn't been guessed yet? And then Julian with a 1. If you were a robot, you'd probably be really good at this game. For all our robot participants. And we've got Roxanne with a 129, Julian with a 122. I'm just making sure no one's got it. I'm quite certain no one's got it. No one's got it yet. No. You guys are getting close. I don't know. I thought it would be obvious. Maybe it's like so secret knowledge that you guys, it was invisible. Maybe I accidentally put like a cloaking device on it or something like that. Actually, the fact that you can't find it is actually elusive to the reason that as to what it is. It's kind of interesting. Oh, and there it is. Pisces finally gets it with a 113. Congratulations, Pisces. Pisces getting, that's like a hat trick for you at least now. Pisces has won this game several times. Congratulations, Pisces. Let's all hear a nice round of applause for Pisces. It's a 113 was the number, and you guys can hold off on the guesses now. I mean, yeah, what I was saying there at the end, it's like, oh yeah, because like 13 is like usually associated with like hidden knowledge, and even like the 13th floor is like hidden in buildings and stuff like that. So I don't know, maybe it was hidden from you guys. Somehow you guys didn't think of it. So congratulations, Pisces. Good job. Pisces, you can decide, what do you want to do? Do you want to facilitate the first reading? Would you like to be able to pass your victory? I'll just check here. Is either Abigail or is, one second. Is either Abigail or Julissa? If either of Abigail or Julissa are in the chat, please feel free to let me know. All right, good job, Pinox. Okay, team, we're gonna get right into this first reading. Pinox is going to decide what they are going to do, and either they're gonna facilitate or I think they're probably gonna facilitate. So, team, the way how we're gonna do this, I'll just explain real quick for those of you who are new. We're gonna do a quick little meditation. We're gonna take a calm breath, take a moment to connect with our breath, take a moment to be able to drop into our heart space. Then from there, we're gonna focus on gratitude, and then from there, we're gonna focus on the intention, show us what we need to see. And through there, it's about being able to just kind of like open ourselves up to that being an intention for the collective, the individual, and the team. So, okay, Pisces is running her own mini game in the chat. Okay, that fair enough. Go for it. Who's gonna guess the color that Pisces picked? They probably already guessed it, because by the time you guys hear this, the delay in the audio will catch up with you, and then she'll be like, okay, there, we figured it out. All right, so whoever wins Pisces minigame, it's bizarre, that's never happened before, but it makes sense. I applaud, I approve. A little minigame within the minigame, why not? And to answer the question for leveling above the rest, we don't do questions for the tarot readings. Again, it's just a simple intention, show us what we need to see. So if it's your first time here, just allow yourself to just kind of like observe, check things out. You'll get a feel for it. But it's still really, really cool. It's really, really powerful the way we do it. So for those of you just joining in on TikTok or Instagram, we're just about to get ready to get into our first reading. Once Pisces has decided who's going to do this. All right, I'll let you guys decide that. And again, as we're doing this, guys, I'm going to remind you once again that we're working towards our Patreon goals. Let's get as many signups as we can. This is like our party. This is our last full, like our broadcast for the end of the month, our last inspirational tarot broadcast for the end of the month. I'd love to be able to reach 210 tonight. I'd love to be able to reach 210 tonight. And did we figure out who it is? Is Rasta gonna win? Okay, I think Rasta wins. All right, okay, cool, sweet. So again, team, if you guys are ready to sign up for the Patreon, again, that's a monthly contribution. That's to support not only the work that I do, but it's also to be able to receive additional support in return by being able to get involved with our community as a leading member. If you guys are new here, if you're just looking to like get involved with this amazing team of conscious creators, definitely check out our Discord channel. That's our team chat. You can join there. That's free to join. And then there you can get a feel for things. You can check things out. You can always join the Patreon later. Or if you're feeling like you're ready for it, let's go ahead and join the Patreon tonight. And again, when you join the Patreon, you're not just signing up to support on Patreon. You're like literally like creating an investment for yourself. So do it as a way to be able to say like, fuck yes to yourself. Like, are you here to be able to like level up yourself and like step into that next realm of your potential? Of course we are. Of course we're all. We're all going to do it in our own ways. And I'm not expecting everyone to sign up for the Patreon. But if it resonates with you, then absolutely go ahead and click the link. It only takes about 5 minutes to sign up. And let's work on getting our first sign up by, I'm still setting that goal by 10 p.m. So as we do this first reading, the next person who signs up for the next, the Patreon will be the next person we do the first reading for. Okay, Pisces, did we figure this out yet? I'm assuming we did. Did we figure this out? Is Rasta doing it? Okay, Rasta, if you're ready, confirm for me that you're ready, and we'll get into that. That's not a regular thing. That was that was Pisces doing a minigame in a minigame. Awesome. Yeah, thank you again, everyone, for joining in. And if you're feeling like you're ready to sign up for the Patreon today, first of all, thank you in advance, and drop a 555 in the chat and go ahead and just give us a heads up, and then we'll keep an eye open for that. But yeah, let's see if we can get Let's see if we can reach 210 tonight, guys. Like that's like 200 was our goal for the month. Now we're just kind of in bonus territory, but again, our next target goal will be 230 by the end of September. So thank you again, everyone, for your support in all forms. And yeah, let's get ready to get into this first reading. Okay, Rasa is ready. All right, Rasa, for everybody here, let's get ready to take a moment here to meditate. We'll keep an eye open for that first Patreon. If you're brand new, don't worry about signing up for the Patreon just yet, but if you're a regular, you can do it while we're doing the first reading. All right, team, let's do this. Using the Ananda Tarot deck, once we have our first Patreon, we'll choose from the other decks. Those are the Sacred Spirit, the Lightworker Oracle, or the Hero's Journey deck, or the one that we're using right now, which is the Ananda Tarot deck. So when you sign for the Patreon, you can choose one of those as a bonus for the team reading. It's still a team reading. Okay, team, here we go. Rasa, for everybody here, happy early full moon. Yeah, I feel like we're in like full moon vibes already. Everybody here, just go ahead and take a moment to join us in meditations. For those of you on TikTok or Instagram, go ahead and click the link in my profile to join the rest of the team on YouTube. When you're ready, let's take a moment to meditate, focus our intention. And so for everybody here, when you're ready, gently close your eyes. As you listen to my voice, just connect with your breath. Gentle inhales through the nose and soft, gentle exhales through the nose of the mouth. Rasta, and for everybody here, just taking a moment to bring yourself into the space of gratitude. Gratitude for the team, gratitude for this sacred space, gratitude for the messages we are about to receive, gratitude for yourself for showing up to receive these messages. For everybody here right now, breathing gently with gratitude in our heart, we're going to focus our attention on the intention, show us what we need to see. We being the individual, we being the collective, we being the team. This amazing team of conscious creators, of shifters, of light guardians that we've been building for over 10 years now. It's a dope team. So focusing our attention on that intention, show us what we need to see. Rasta, holding this within your heart, and for everybody here, focusing on that intention, I want you to speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. Show us what we need to see. And now from here, Rasa, take a few more breaths, listen to your intuition, and when you are ready, open your eyes and type now in the chat. For everybody else, when you are ready, gently open your eyes and then type your wizard noises in the chat. And your wizard noises, for those of you who are new, introduce them to what we mean by wizard noises, and we're going to charge up the deck for a few more moments. So here we go. And do you feel the magic in the air? Do you feel the joy and the expression? For now is the time to care about the images that we are creating, about the stories that we are writing, for we are the creators, and there ain't no dying because we're simply flying, and we're here to rebirth. We're here to be able to show each other how to create this new earth. And so all the shifters and light guardians here in the land, send forth your wizard magic, and we will pull the card and see what message will be brought to hand. Zoo 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 zoo. Pwom 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 pwom. Zoobity zibbity zobbity doop shoobity zibbida boop boop skip flap. Sparkle sounds with twinkling. Well played, good job. All right, team, here we go. Ooh, interesting. I like this. This is a good card to be able to start off with. All right, let's get right into this one, and we'll move through as many readings as we can tonight. The first card that we have pulled, with Rasa helping facilitate, but again, for everybody here, if you are here, this message is for you. The first card that we have pulled is the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups. Give me 2 seconds here. Just going to open up the book, and then we're going to read a little bit from the book, and then from there, what I'll do is I'll channel some additional inspiration to be able to hype you guys up, and that's my job. My job here is to be like a channel for the infinite cosmic hype energy that hypes you up. More or less. That's my job, guys. My job is like I'm not just here to entertain you. I'm here to like spark your spirit. Same way we do in any of our other broadcasts, right? You guys know that. We're here to build a real world team. of spiritual superheroes. Even right now, this is building him. So let's see who's ready to join on the Patreon. We'll keep an eye open for that. Again, guys, if you're ready to sign up for the Patreon, drop a 555 in the chat. We're going to focus in on this first reading. Let's see if we can get a first Patreon sign up before we're done this reading, and then we'll go right into the next one, and that person will facilitate, and they'll get to choose the other decks that they want to be able to go from. So again, join on the Patreon at the $11 level or the $5 level, whatever you choose, but the $11 level gives you access to the leading member. Let's work on reaching that goal of 210 tonight, and thank you again, everyone, for your support in all forms. Let's get ready to dive into this. For those of you on TikTok or Instagram, please click the link in my profile so you can join the rest of the team on YouTube. We got like 1 million people tuned in on YouTube, plus it's the primary camera, so I'm not holding it. I have to do this. So for those of you on TikTok, just join on YouTube. It's easier. Okay, here we go, team. And if you need to stay on YouTube, on TikTok, it's fine. All right, so visually explaining this image, and side note, if you guys are brand new, drop a 333 in the chat. And for those of you who are regulars, say hello to the new people. Thank you, guys. Okay, so looking at this image here, just visually explaining it, this is a very, very interesting image here. You can see it's very kind of dreamlike. There's kind of like this busk of a woman who has almost like the sphere behind her, which kind of looks like a moon. And then there's like spirit animals behind them. That's the best way I can explain it. You see like a unicorn, or maybe that's just a horse with a horn. I don't know. Why isn't it called a unicorn? Why is it called a unicorn? Why isn't it called a unicorn? Can anyone answer that to me right now? Anyways, but then we got a fish. There's like a little fish here. Look at this little like fish thing here. Again, I'll show it to you on TikTok, but it's hard for me to show both. So TikTok, link in my profile. Join on YouTube. Here we go. Okay, so just looking at this image here, you can see there's like a little cup down here. Again, I'm just explaining it visually right now. There's a little sphere. The sphere is actually kind of cracked, and it kind of like just like fades off into the distance. It's just kind of like, it's just like this flat surface here. There's a couple trees in the background and some stars. Again, that's just me explaining the literal image. So let's get ready to dive into this. Again, if you are here, this message is for you. Thank you for showing up. If anyone on YouTube is able to do this, side note, if any of the leading members who are regulars, if you guys can go to my TikTok and go in my live and actually kind of every now and then remind people and be like, hey guys, he's live on YouTube, click the link in his profile. That'd be super appreciated, because I know some people aren't always going to be able to get the info on that. So let's get right into this. As I'm reading this, again, if anything resonates with you, drop an 1111 in the chat, and also prepare to write out an affirmation based on the teachings of this card. So I'm going to read through it, and then we're going to channel some additional inspiration. We'll keep an eye open for that Patreon. Let's get that going. And again, as soon as we have the Patreon signed up, the next person, that person will help facilitate the next reading. But let's focus on this one. Here we go. Queen of Cups, the image. Surrounded by the fleeting forms of cloud-like figures, a female with her glance turned inward appears as if from an unknown world. Again, if you're here, this message is for you, and I'm using my wizard voice so you can like resonate and just chill out and listen. Cool. Thanks, Stella. Okay. Meaning. The Queen of Cups represents a female aspect of the water elements. In doubling the power of water, the creative abilities of the psyche are made more potent. The power of fantasy and compassion typify an introverted character. The sensitive nature of the Queen of Cups opens the way to subconscious soul powers, capable of very deep compassion and immersion in visions. This world and the hereafter can blend into one in the consciousness of a sensitive soul. On this deep level of feeling, the inner connection to all living things can be felt. The power of water presents a reserved, sensitive being with a natural knack for caring for people who need help. Through her willingness to sacrifice, she is able to impart comfort and healing. The Queen of Cups can also indicate hidden dreams and yearnings for those who try to escape reality through intoxication or the delusion of daydreams. Reality and dream can become an inseparable entity. Capable of deep devotion or dedication, the earnest spiritual seeker can open the senses for a higher reality. Astrological significance. Moon, Neptune, Pisces. Sorry, I'm just like emphasizing that, obviously. Doubling of the water element. Keywords. Deep compassion, empathy, intuition, mediumistic tendencies, power of the subconscious, healing, visions, depth of emotion, clairvoyance. Traditional meaning. Sensitivity, readiness to help, sacrifice, world of dreams, states of intoxication, yearning, illusion, mysticism, devotion, world of the hereafter. Okay. Seeing a lot of 1111s in the chat. You guys really resonate with this card, that's for sure. All right, okay, team. Gonna channel some additional inspiration here. Let's keep an eye on that first Patreon. Now's a great time to sign up. It only takes 5 minutes, or if anybody already signed up for the Patreon, if you guys want to increase your Patreon pledge, please go for it. Whatever works for you guys. Okay, guys, diving into this a little bit more. For those of you on TikTok, please click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. And this isn't a light. This is a light guardian crystal, so handmade. Okay, I'll talk about it later. Here we go, guys. All right, Queen of Cups. This is an exciting card to be able to get. Yesterday, we actually got a very similar card. It was one of the first cards that we actually pulled within our first reading, and that was the High Priestess. This card can almost be thought as like an extension of the High Priestess, and in particular, it really focuses on being able to kind of connect with a deeper level of emotion, connect with a deeper level of empathy, connect with a deeper level of understanding, and also as a result of that, a deeper level which can assist others through their own healing process. So with this card, it really invites each and every single one of us to be able to take time to understand that this is an archetype that we can step into. This ability to be able to see that it is through deepening ourselves into the emotional waters, to deepen ourselves into the presence of the subconscious, that not only can we develop more of our intuitive, psychic, natural, mediumistic tendencies and things like that, but it can also help us amplify our ability to be able to receive visions that we can use to be able to bring into our art, that we can use to be able to bring into communication, to be able to share with others. So this is a card that's inviting each and every single one of us to know that connecting with our mediumistic abilities. And what does that mean? Like mediumistic abilities? Mediumistic abilities, if I were to think of it one way, it's just being like more aware of the subtle energies that you are already surrounded by. You are in an ocean of energy right now. The Queen of Cups is the type of card that understands this. So this is a card that's really reminding you, oh, by the way, you exist in an ocean of energy. Some people, they don't really fully get this. That's okay. Their consciousness is just kind of in a different like a different frequency. That's okay. But there will be some of us who will resonate with this card and just be like, yep, that's my life. That's my life. And again, especially for those of you who may already have water within their charts, within their astrological charts, most of us in some form or another do have a variation of water. And not to say if you don't, this card doesn't apply to you. But when you do have a relation to the water within your houses, within your cards, within your astrological significance, I'm sure there are a lot of people here who, and again, anybody here, you guys can understand that through the ability to connect deeper with our emotions, it is also being able to connect deeper with this ability to be able to feel called to help others. But the important thing here is to make sure that we're balancing, to make sure that we're not getting so lost in helping others that we don't help ourselves. So this is a very, very powerful card to be able to keep in mind as a valuable reminder, because there are those of us here who literally at certain points within our journey will almost kind of unconsciously distract ourselves from taking care of ourselves by spending our energy taking care of others. No shame if that happens. No shame if that's the case, but it's something to be able to be aware of, because oftentimes when that happens, there's a lesson there, and the lesson is like, oh yeah, I have to remember that taking care of myself is really, really important, and then it fills my cup so that I can keep taking care of others. It's great to be able to help people, but you as this emotional Queen of Cup, again, this very kind of like intuitive, introspective queen of the emotions, queen of the cup of water that is symbolic of our intuitive waters, the cosmic waters, the awareness of the cosmic waters around us. We need to make sure we're balancing. And I mean, this is something that you can say with each and every single one of card, but this card is coming through right now, again, for each and every single one of us, just to be able to have something in front of us, to be able to check in. For all of us, like as shifters, as light guardians, this is really, 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 really important to be able to make sure that we're creating healthy boundaries, that we're not overexerting ourselves. And even to be able to be aware if, like, for some of us, we may be kind of in a case where, again, you know, our imagination is so kind of like rich and colorful. Again, this is where you kind of get like the unicorn and the flying fish. It's like you're daydreaming and things like that. if that's the case and you find that, you know, like your thoughts are kind of like very busy sometimes, that's an indicator that means that there's probably an opportunity there for you to be able to develop a deeper relationship through your meditation that will help you kind of focus things more, because your thoughts can evolve over time. It's kind of like your mind becomes refined as you work on it, the same way you would work on any other part of your body by going to the gym. Like your brain is still like a muscle in its own way, and part of that muscle is the ability to notice when your mind's wandering and bring it back to focus. Now, it's not to say that when your mind wanders that's a bad thing, because when your mind wanders, that's like also it kind of like tapping into creative energies that are out there, and that can be really great for just like brainstorming and getting ideas and getting really creative. But like a Pisces, like the symbol of a Pisces, again, a little bit more of like the balance oriented aspect to it. What if you could kind of like willingly do that, opposed to just having that as your default state? And so it's important here again with this card just to be able to make sure that we're not if we do find ourselves like dealing with things that, you know, bring forth like intoxications and things like that, to make sure that we're using them in a responsible, moderate way. I'm not going to tell you, hey, like, you know, like don't smoke weed, don't drink alcohol and things like that. Do things in moderation. You're human, you're here to experience senses. That's okay. Honor that. Be responsible though. And be aware if you feel like you're just like, am I intentionally kind of escaping dealing with my own responsibilities and just kind of getting lost in this realm of like emotional mysticism and just kind of like not really fully grounding myself through intoxications? Like, am I high more than I'm sober type thing? And again, I that's not me. Like, I'm not here to say what isn't or isn't what's best for you, but I'm saying as we move forward, it's important for us to be able to understand that, especially if we want to be able to serve others, that there's degrees of responsibility that we are being called into. So this card, it really invites us to be able to kind of like mature spiritually, you know, like become more of a spiritual adult. And quite frankly, there's a lot of us, even people who are tuned into this broadcast, and we're all at different stages. And if you're fairly new to spirituality, fairly new to this degree of self-awareness, it's okay to acknowledge, to be like, yeah, I'm still learning. Like, I'm literally still learning. I'm still like a spiritual child in the sense. I'm still figuring out the ropes, so to speak. But as you kind of go through this understanding of like being able to relate differently with your emotions, intentionally diving into them, intentionally kind of practicing meditation and slowing down and listening and paying attention to your dreams and your subconscious and your intuition, and becoming a bridge for this information. Again, you know, you kind of show up from a place of responsibility. You show up from a place where it's like, okay, my objective isn't simply to, you know, just kind of like entertain myself with my own imagination, but to be able to kind of like anchor this awareness into my heart and then show up in service so that I can assist others, and at the same time still be able to know that when you need to, you can connect really deeply on an emotional level. Or you might be able to do like different like mediumistic tendencies that require you to kind of be in that sensitive state, that require you to kind of be in that very like in tune state. It's going to be very different for a lot of people, right? Because everyone's kind of got like their different like the different ways of communicating with this energy. We all have like, even though we all have five senses, beyond that, we all have like varying degrees of extrasensory stuff that's going to be kind of different for different people. And that's okay. How one person experiences extrasensory abilities is probably not how you're going to experience extrasensory abilities. And that's okay. But at the very least, you can still practice listening to your heart. You can still practice listening to your emotions. You can practice listening to your intuition. You can practice looking out for synchronicities. And again, just be aware of the idea that if you do feel you're kind of leaning more into the realm of intoxication, to just see this as an invitation to replace those habits with other habits. The obvious things I talk about, you know, if you're like trying to balance things here, you want to balance yourself physically because that's going to help balance you spiritually. So if you're just like, I'm struggling here and stuff like that, I'm finding it hard to discipline myself, I'm finding it hard to stay focused. If you're like, I'm having a hard time here, focus on the things that you have immediate control over. And this is the obvious things that I talk about. You know, relative to spirituality, the most important thing isn't to just open your third eye and astral project and all of these other things and activate your kundalini. Like, don't worry about that. Like, seriously, just, you have my permission. Don't worry about that, especially if you're new or especially if you're anywhere. And focus on the important things such as your basic health, such as your diet, your exercise, your sleep, your sunlight, your social interaction, and surrounding yourself with community and other like-minded people. Those should be the priorities right now. Once you get those in order and you're practicing meditation at the same time in some form or another, things will naturally kind of come into a cohesion and balance out. But again, you know, this is calling us into a deeper place of responsibility because, again, you're not just here to be able to balance yourself, but you're here to be able to show up You are water for a thirsty world. You are water for a thirsty world, so stop splashing your cup all over the place, woo, like a freaking sprinkler or something like that, and get control of your cup. Get control of your emotional waters. And again, that's going to be very subjective. I'm not going to tell you what that will or won't look like for each and every single one of you. It's going to be a different journey for each. But just bring more awareness to it, bring more compassion to it, bring more empathy even to yourself, and understand that, again, when you're working with things like mindfulness and things like that, that's evidently going to help you get to a place where you're more aware of your mind and your thoughts. Like, there will come a point where, depending on, for certain people, it's going to be different. But again, you'll be much more aware when your mind's kind of wander, or you can kind of feel it going down certain paths, and you're just like, and you have mechanisms, you have coping mechanisms, you have ways to kind of like shift your focus back to a lotus, a center point, a place of focus. And then if you're aware of how you're aware of how you do that, that's just going to allow you to be much more in control of your focus, which will help assist you with, again, kind of being more aware of how you're spending your energy, and making sure that you're not diverting your energies towards things that aren't really fully serving you. And once you can kind of step into this place where you have a deeper relationship with your emotions, then again, you're going to allow yourself to kind of bring more presence into your energy, which will allow you to show up in service, but without having to quote unquote sacrifice. Don't overly sacrifice yourself. Like, don't do that. Like, you'll feel it out, whatever makes sense for you. But again, like, don't overly just give yourself to everyone. Balance the heart chakra. If your heart chakra is super closed, then you sometimes feel like, oh, I have trouble kind of engaging with people and communicating and trusting people. And if your heart chakra is really open, it's just like, I'm just going to help everyone. Let's all get along. And then if your heart chakra is really open, usually people will, at some point, it probably will get taken advantage of in some form or another. And when that happens, it's actually basically the universe kind of saying like, hey, we love the fact that you care, but don't forget about healthy boundaries. Don't forget that it's okay to say no, that when you say no, you're also saying yes to yourself. So it's okay. Make those choices for yourself. Set those boundaries. Allow yourself to bring yourself into more of a focus. And again, as you do that, you'll allow yourself to be able to show up in service without it necessarily having to be sacrificed. You can still, if you want to think of it as like, it's not, I won't think of it as sacrifice. Like, I think a better word is kind of like alchemy, where you're showing up with your energy. It's social alchemy. You're showing up with your energy and you're transforming it into helping other people. It doesn't have to be a sacrifice. Sacrifice makes it sound like you're just giving energy and it just kind of goes, and maybe something good comes out of it, but maybe something that doesn't happen. Think of it more as social alchemy. You are a social alchemist. I am a social alchemist. Think of it that way. And then you're just like, okay, how do I want to transform my energy? Yeah, I feel called to help this person. Okay, I'm going to show up in presence. I'm going to listen. I'm going to just kind of like, like hang out with them and hold space and reaffirm them. And out of that energy can kind of serve them without it necessarily being something that sacrifices you. And the last thing I'll just say on this, I went way longer with this card than I planned on it. This is like a bonus reading for you guys. This is way longer than I normally go sometimes. But again, as you're doing this, what was the other thing? Did I forget what I was going to say? I think I cut myself off and I forgot what I was going to say there. Yeah, the other thing I was just going to say to wrap this up, when you show up and you're helping others, you're actually getting to meet more of yourself. You get to see the part of yourself where you'll help someone, you'll be very much in the moment, and then you'll kind of move beyond that moment and you'll be like, whoa, like, I'm really proud of myself. I like did something. I helped someone. Like, oh, that was cool. And it felt very natural too and stuff like that. That's when like things are kind of moving towards, again, that alignment with your destiny and your soul purpose. So step into your soul purpose. Hold your cup with pride, humility, intention, and may it continue to serve both you and the overflow continue to serve others. And may you continue to connect into the depths of your emotional awareness, intuition, and your dream space, subconscious, and within that, deeper realms of magic and mysticism that you can bring forth into the world. Be a bridge to this world. Bring forth magic. Yeah, we did it, team. All right, that's our first reading. That one a little bit longer. Guys, if that resonated with you, drop an 1111 in the chat, and please write out an affirmation in the chat. Writing out an affirmation, I'm not just asking you to do it, I'm telling you to do it, I'm inviting you to do it, because when you write out an affirmation, that completes this loop where basically it shows your mind that your body was paying attention. And then when you write that out, some sort of affirmation, that's basically closing the loop where it's like, okay, whatever just was communicated, I learned it. and I embody it, and you crystallize it into a single little phrase, and that will help you. If you don't write this affirmation, you're probably going to forget this. You're probably going to just be like, well, I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you. Do whatever you want, right? This is a free country or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, team. Affirmations. I'm going to just pull one from my heart here. I devote myself to continuing to deepen my awareness with my emotional presence both within myself so that I may continue to show up to serve others. I devote myself to allowing my conscious awareness of subtle energies, dream space, and subconscious to continue to be a forefront of my focus so that I may serve as a beneficial bridge to accelerate the shift in consciousness. There, that's my little affirmation. What's your affirmation? Sorry, I don't know why I did that. All right, team. Go ahead, leave your affirmations down in the chat. I'll read those so much. Thank you guys. If you guys just want to express gratitude for how that was for you, thank you so much. All right. Again, that reading was for everyone. So if you just joined in and you're like, can I have a reading, please? Again, the readings are for everyone. No one has to ask for a reading. It's way, it's pretty cool. Words. All right. Roxanne, am I pronouncing your name? Is that okay if I pronounce it Roxanne? That's just what my brain pronounces. I will fill my spiritual cup and let the overflow energy fill others. Beautiful. Well said, Roxanne. Comment in the Instagram. I will be more responsive to my heart chakra's boundaries. Beautiful. Well said. And that's from Geraldine and from Mick Whisper. I am aligning and re-seeing myself and being service. Beautiful. Well said. Pisces, I am grateful for a balanced heart chakra. I am queen of filling my own cup so that I may fill others. Beautiful. Unicorn, I love myself and deserve love. Awesome. Thank you, Inspired Intuitive Living. Instead of filling others' cups, I am grateful for being able to bring light and love to the 3D matrix of Starlight. I devote myself to finding healthy balance when I can fill my cup with as much self-love as possible. Beautiful. Julian, when I follow my heart, I will win, and the people who hurt me will heal in 10 days and feel bad that they were trying to fix themselves. Fair enough, Julian. Fill my cup. I am open to change. Beautiful. Any other affirmations? Go ahead. Leave those into the chat. Rihanna? Or Ria? Ria. Okay, Ria's good. I know Ria. Perfect. Awesome. Thanks, team. If you guys enjoyed that reading, again, let that just be like a quick little sample of the good vibes that I'm here to put out. And again, as we're doing this, for those of you on Instagram and YouTube, you can see that we're working towards our next Patreon sign up. We're currently working towards our goal of 210. And we're actually just going to take a moment here to be able to invite someone to be able to sign up for the Patreon. And then we'll get into our next reading shortly. So again, if you guys are fans of my work and you want to support it with a monthly contribution, go ahead and join on that Patreon. Drop a 555 in the comment to let me know you're going to join. And again, when you join at the $11 a month, that's not only supporting me, but it also gives you the option to join as a leading member in our community, and that will give you access to the full team chat. You guys can join the public team chat for free. You're welcome to do that. And you can join the private team chat as a leading member. And again, that's where you can get full access to our collaborative workspace to support you as a conscious media creator. So if you're like creating conscious content, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're growing as an entrepreneur, if you want to learn how to be an entrepreneur, if you want to create your own Patreon, if you want to level up in how you create content, and if you want to be around a super badass, amazing team of conscious creators and get involved with our regular work periods and our weekly team podcasts, including like the one that we did on August 27th, which is a dope global meditation, and also to be able to work with me as your conscious media creation coach and get discount for the item shop, including the Light Guardian crystals, such as that, and the buttons. And you can also get access to my 3-hour-long video of me on 5 grams of psychedelic mushrooms. Yes, that's what I said. So hopefully that entices you to sign up. And if you guys already signed up for the Patreon and you haven't seen that video, please feel free to send me a DM and I'll make sure that you get it. But again, if you guys are ready to sign up for the Patreon, go ahead and drop a 555 in the chat. Let me know. And again, this is our last day for new Patreon signups for the month. So that's why there's like a little bit of additional incentive. And we're going to get right into our next reading in the next moment. But again, as we're doing this, we'll keep an eye open for the Patreon. And once we get that next Patreon, then we can do the extra decks as well. I'm fully confident that somebody here is ready to be able to join on the Patreon. So if that's you, go ahead and click the link in the info for this video on YouTube. You can see it up there. You can also see it down there in the YouTube info. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, links in my profile. And yeah, thank you everyone again so much for joining in. Thank you to our recent Patreon supporters, to Julissa, to Abigail, to Kai, and to Emily. And again, guys, let's work. I would love to be able to reach 210 tonight. Like, I am willing to stay up tonight until we reach 210. I will not sleep tonight until we reach 210 on Patreon. That's my paradigm shift promise. Is that a thing? Can we make that a thing? It'd be like, and that's my paradigm shift promise. Is that a thing? Maybe. We'll see. All right, team, let's get ready to move into the next reading. I don't want you guys to feel as if we're waiting on anything here, but we will keep an eye open for that first Patreon sign up. And then again, let's see if we can get a few more. And so again, just quick explanation, just because I know there's a question in the chat. Patreon, I'll explain it real quick. Patreon is a website that artists use where people can support them with monthly contributions. Lots of artists have Patreon. I've had my Patreon for quite some time. And when you join on my Patreon, you can join at the $11 level. And then that's where you can join as a leading member in our community so that you can get access to our private community space to support you as a conscious media creator. If that's something you're interested in, you can still join on the Patreon and not be involved as a leading member. And again, it's worth way more than $11. Just ask any of the leading members. Leading members, go ahead and hype up the Patreon. Just let them know what it's all about. And again, it's a super dope way to join our amazing team of conscious creators. And we have our regular work periods and weekly team broadcast. This Thursday's podcast is a full moon party. So if you want to join on air for our full moon party, you guys can join on the Patreon. So yeah, that's at 8 p.m. on Thursday. So we'll broadcast on YouTube, but you get to join on air when you're on the Patreon. All right, team. Again, that was just answering a quick question. There was a question about the Patreon in the chat. If there aren't any other questions, let me know. But let's get right into our next reading. We're going to do that mini game thing again. So this mini game is for the people in the YouTube chat. And Toby is asking, could I join this weekend for next month? So the contributions will process tomorrow. So Toby, if you're like waiting for anything, you can still sign up in a couple days and still just jump in. Like, that's okay. The only difference between signing up today versus signing up tomorrow is that your contributions will process and it just goes into this month's processing period. But if you sign up after this, then your next contribution will process October 1st, but you can still be involved. Like, oh yeah. Like, I'm not, like, believe me guys, like, I'm not really like worried about your money. It's more so just the invitation for you guys to get involved. So if we can get additional people signed up today, again, do it for you. Join because you guys like my work and you like the idea of being able to just like surround yourself with like awesome people. But do it for you. Do it as an investment for you. Or if you're not looking to join as a leading member, then please feel free to sign up at any level. Like, you could literally just be like, hey, money's kind of irrelevant to me. Here's like $100. And you can forward that my way. And then again, that just helps me focus more on the community as well. So guys, thank you so much. And let's get right into this next reading. I'll explain more about the Patreon if need be. But let's keep an eye on that Patreon. And let's get that first sign up as we're doing this first reading. And then the next reading will be for the first person who signs up for the Patreon. And again, that's where you can choose from the additional decks for the team, such as the Hero's Journey, Lightworker Oracle, or Sacred Spirit. In the meantime, we're going to go into another Ananda Tarot deck again. So, mini game time. Ding, 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 ding. For the mini game, for those of you who are new, what we're going to do, I'm going to choose a number, and you guys are going to guess the number in the chat. Only counts for the YouTube people. You guys get 3 guesses each, 1 guess at a time. I'm going to choose the number now, and then I'm going to tell you the bracket. For those of you who are tuned in, this only counts if you're on YouTube. So click the link in my profile if you're not on YouTube to be able to join in on YouTube right now. All right. Okay, team. Picking the number now. Okay, I got it. I'm going to tell you the bracket now. If you're not on YouTube, click the link in my profile. Join in. All right, here we go. Okay, team. Bum, 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 bum. That's cool. Thanks. I was just reading Kyle's. Kyle says, if I were paying per new amazing experiences I've gotten out of being a leading member, I would spend hundreds a month. Thanks, Kyle. That means a lot. No, I want you guys to feel that. When you guys join the Patreon, I want you guys to be there, and I want you to be like, whoa, like, this is worth like hundreds of dollars. It should be, because I've got like all the support to be able to give you guys. I'm here to support you guys. We're here to level up. That's the objective. The objective is to support each other. And last thing, my goal is to help over 100 fellow conscious creators become self-sustained in doing their work. Okay, let's focus on this reading. Sorry, I got distracted. Okay, here comes the number. The bracket is between 300 and 330. The bracket is between 300 and 330. If you are in the YouTube chat, make your guesses now. 3 guesses each, 1 guess at a time. First person to guess the number will be the next person to help facilitate this next reading. But again, the readings are still for everyone. So I'll keep an eye open for the numbers. I'll answer the question in a second for you, Riel. I'll answer that question. But yes. All right. Okay, team. Here come the numbers between 300 and 330. Get ready for it. And they're off. And Star Soul's out the gate with a 309. And behind them is Pisces with a slightly off 228. That was probably a typo. Toby with a 323, and Kate with a 324, and Ria with a 321. Rasa right behind them with a 316, and Megan with a 315. And we've got Kyle coming in with a 311, and a Hatch Dog with a 303. And behind them, we've got the next guest coming in at 113. Again, slightly outside the bracket. The bracket is 300 and 330. And Pisces correcting their guess with a 328, still off, but good thanks, good rebound. Pisces and with the 328, and Pinox right behind them with the 323. Toby with a 307, and Maribel with another 323. Irrelevant, slightly outside the bracket with a 332. Staying true to their name. Star Soul dropping in with a 329, and Julian comes in with the victory with a 313. Sound effects. Crowd goes wild. Congratulations, Julian. Julian got it, guys. The number was 313 for that one. So congratulations, Julian, for doing that. Julian, let me know when you're ready, and let's get right into this next reading, guys. And again, we'll keep an eye open for that next Patreon as we go. Just real quick, we're going to get right into this next reading, and we'll do a little meditation. You guys can leave off on the guesses. Roxanne was just asking, what do leading members do? Very simply put, Roxanne, like, if you sign up as a leading member, you're not obligated to do anything. It's just a space and opportunity for you to utilize. So it's not like oh shit, I'm signing up for a job. It's like, oh sweet, I get to be able to join things when it works for me type thing. So but yeah, it's not like joining the Patreon is a job. It's literally just like an opportunity, and you can join our weekly meetings, connect further with the community, join our work periods. Guys, our work period today, like, it's on my YouTube channel. Like, it is so valuable. Like, it is hundreds of dollars worth of value there. And again, those are free just because I want to be able to help you guys, like, get the ideas rolling. All right, congratulations to Julian. Julian is ready. Let's get right into this meditation. Let's keep an eye open for that next Patreon sign up. I'm confident that we're going to get a Patreon sign up as we're doing this reading, and then we'll keep going there from one to the next after that. And again, guys, I'm not going to sleep until we reach 210. That's my job. It's my job to build the Patreon. It's like building the Patreon is essentially like being able to gather fuel for the spaceship. That's my job, is to be able to fly this spaceship, and what we're doing right now is we're gathering fuel for the spaceship. So, collective energy. All right, here we go, Julian. When you're ready, let's join in for a little meditation. Everybody here, inviting you to just be able to join in with this. We're going to drop into our heart space, focus on gratitude, and focus on the intention. Show us what we need to see. Julian, as we do that, I'm going to ask you to gently allow yourself to connect with your breath, listen to your intuition, and then type now into the chat. And then we'll pull the card. Don't do that until I direct you to do that. We'll walk you through it. Okay. I'm glad you guys like the crowd racing. the race announcer. Okay, team, here we go. When you're ready, gently close your eyes. Connecting with your breath. Straighten up your spine. Relaxing your chest. Opening up your chest. Relaxing your face. For Julian and for everybody here, as you bring awareness to your breath, soft, gentle inhales, soft, gentle exhales. Allowing yourself to bring your awareness into your heart space. Just bringing your focus to gratitude. Gratitude for the cards, for the messages we're about to receive. Gratitude for the team. Gratitude for the energies and the stories we are creating together. Gratitude for yourself for showing up. With this gratitude in your heart, everybody here, focusing your attention on the intention, show us what we need to see. We being the individual, we being the collective, we being the team. This amazing team of real-world superheroes, of conscious creators that we are building. Conscious creators and leaders. Show us what we need to see. Focus on this intention. And for everybody here, Julian, I want you to speak this intention. Show us what we need to see. Speak it with your heart. Speak it with your mind. Speak it with your words. Speak it with your soul. Julian, take a few more breaths here. When you are ready, listen to your intuition and then open your eyes and type now in the chat. For everybody else, focusing on this intention, open your eyes now and type your wizard noises in the chat. And we're going to charge up this deck a little bit more. Here we go. Let's do this, wizards. Let's do this, light guardians. All right, activate wizard noises. And did you know that you can change this flow, that you can allow the words to be able to reflect which way we go, because we are speaking things into existence each and every single day, because we are here to teach each other new ways in which to play. And so when we align ourselves here within our heart, we will remind others of how to be able to change this world through the magic of their art. And shoo lulu bloobity boob zoobity zabbity zibbity roop roop roop. And as Julian types now into the chat, we will pull the card and see what message the universe has. All right, team. Okay, next card that we have gotten, again, this is for everybody here. If you're tuned in right now, this reading is for you. We're here to pump you guys up. We're here to spark your soul. The card that we have pulled with Julian helping facilitate, but again, for everyone, is Cups number 9. Cups number 9. Give me 2 seconds here. Just going to open up the book here. And again, team, let's keep an eye open for that Patreon. The next reading, again, will be for the next person who joins up for the Patreon. Let's make sure that we get that Patreon sign up like as we're doing this reading, and then we'll get right into the next one so we don't have to take a break or anything like that. And thank you in advance. If you guys are ready to sign for the Patreon, drop that 555 in the chat. And again, this is like our last day for contributions for the end of the month. So any signed up today is super appreciated in the contributions process tomorrow. All right, team. Let's visually explain this. Here we go. Here we go. Thank you again, everyone, for joining in. All right. All right. Cups 9. Visually explain this card first and foremost. We have this 9, yeah, more cups, right? Like more cups. Here we go. Get ready for it. As if the queen wasn't enough. We've got 9 cups kind of suspended in this crescent with the big one in the middle and then little ones on the side, and this cute little mandala in the center hanging above this plateau, this kind of terrain down below. And you can kind of see there's like a little sphere there, this kind of like a man-made structure here, kind of a corner piece aligned with the center, and a little stream and a river down below and some stars up in the sky. And yeah, that's basically it. That's just a literal explanation of what's on the card. Gonna read into this. Thank you guys again. If anything I say resonates with you, drop those 1111s in the chat. Let's get that Patreon sign up as we're doing this. You guys can do that and listen at the same time. Here we go. If you are here, this message is for you. 9 of Cups, the image. In front of a deep blue sky above a landscape bathed in bright colors, a group of cups encircles a mandala. Meaning, joy of being is the expression of a positive attitude towards life, with which man brings his inner world of emotions outside. As a result of turning inward, in which he recognizes the outer world with the essence of his being, his consciousness grows in the awareness that the composition of the world is an answer to inner turmoil. As one calls in the wood, it echoes accordingly. In the certainty of deep feeling that the experience of inner connection to all life brings, the individual is then able to develop deep trust. From the inner security that is experienced on a deeper level of existence grows the easy, carefree feeling of a childlike nature, which makes possible an innocent and carefree experience of the world of the senses. The unhindered expression of joyous feeling for life not only fills one's beings with an experience of intense joy, but makes it possible for his fellow creatures to participate in it also. In experiencing the material world as a form, as a space of resonance for the mind, the individual consciousness recognizes itself as a part of cosmic consciousness and becomes a conscious co-creator in the divine plan. As little as one should fall prey to the senses and become their slave, a forceful repression of feelings and their natural requirements becomes necessary. Rather, the focus is more about sensory experience and expression of feelings through which the soul gives outer forms their shape. The world of feeling builds the cutting edge between mind and matter. He who recognizes a beauty in things awakens them to life. By awakening them to life, he approaches his own fulfillment. Astrological significance: Moon, Venus, novile aspects. Keywords: feelings of wholeness, loving attachment, expression of life, affirming feelings, collective play, lightheartedness, nurturing awareness, sensuality, artistic expression. Traditional meaning: pleasure, zest for life, social gathering, human warmth, affection, positive attitude toward life, joy of being, carefreeness. Beautiful. All right, let's get ready to go right into this. Just give me 2 seconds. I just got to restart the Instagram feed here, which just takes 2 seconds. Okay. All right, thank you again, everyone, for joining in as we get ready to dive into another cup-filled adventure here. My goodness. Maybe they're just all going to be cups tonight. I don't know. Well, they won't be, because we'll start getting into the other decks soon enough. Guys, I'm excited. I want to get into those other decks. Let's get that Patreon sign up as we're doing this. Let's go, 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 go. And again, for those of you who are here, please be sure to keep your comments relevant in the chat. Any other irrelevant comments, again, just be respectful of the chat. Beautiful. All right, team. Here we go. Let's dive into this. And again, let's keep an eye open for that Patreon sign up as we're doing it. We're live back on all platforms. Okay, so this is a really cool card. So this card, again, echoing off the themes of the last card is, again, about being able to connect with those deep levels of emotion within our heart, but also being able to master them. With this card, it really invites you to be able to step into the emotions that allow you to be able to see the world in exciting ways, that allow you to be able to really tap into a place of joy, that allow you to be able to really tap into a place of like unique awe and unique expression by changing the way that you interact with the world around you through this deep level of connection where you literally see the world as you, where you literally are embodying this feeling of wholeness, where you continue to be able to echo forth like a loving embrace and a loving awareness for others as well as yourself and the world around you, and to be able to invite in, this is the important part, this theme of like collective play, this theme of kind of like bringing ourselves back to like the heart of the inner child within us. So with this card, again, it's inviting each and every single one of us to be able to take a space and the opportunity to be able to be like, hey, as we are moving forward within this journey, it's important for us to know that sometimes we grow old in order to be able to learn how to live young. Sometimes we will literally grow old, forget how to live from that childlike perspective, and then from there, over time, eventually be able to like relearn how to be able to connect with that childlike wonder, understanding that the childlike wonder isn't something that needs to be separate from our experience as adult. It's not something that is like, childlike wonder is not something where it's like, oh, that's only within that category of life. We just associate with that time period, but really that awe and wonder is something that is primordial. That awe and wonder is something for us to be able to, again, like step into this place where again, you know, as we continue to like move into this lightheartedness, as we continue to move into this place where we're seeing things from a collective point of play, we're opening up things into a new way for us to be able to interact with the world, to be able to interact with things in a more kind of like intuitive way, for us to be able to act with things in a more imaginative way, for us to be able to interact with things in a more artistic way. So it's interesting that, again, you know, as we grow old, we kind of learn how to forget. We forget how to play. Like, we literally forget how to play. There's kind of like this weird thing where, you know, like if you were to like give a child an instrument, like say you get like a bunch of children and you're sitting them down, and then you like get some instruments and you put some instruments in front of them and you tell the kids like, here, play with these instruments. And then the kids just goes like, they're like, they just start making music. Right? They're literally playing with the instruments. And then if you tell an adult, you put instruments in front of them, they're like, here, play these instruments. The adults will be like, I don't know how to play those instruments. I can't do that. That's impossible. it is impossible for me to play those instruments. Meanwhile, it's like, wait a second, like, what's actually going on here, right? Because it's like nothing's stopping them from playing those instruments other than this belief they've created within their head that tells them that being playful is something that, you know, they're not allowed to do anymore. But when we allow ourselves to still be able to bring in this element of play, we also bring into this, like, this presence of a joyful nature, this presence of a joyful energy that actually becomes contagious, that actually becomes something that other people kind of like begin to echo out. It becomes something that other people begin to kind of give themselves permission to embody as they see other people doing it, you know? So you guys probably get a sense of this even through like my content. Like, I bring in like a lot of very like joyful, playful energy and everything like that. I feel that I'm aware of the archetype of this card, and I just kind of do it intuitively, as well as I think many of us do, and more of us are being invited to do more. But again, you know, it's like if you create content where it's like you smiling and being happy, and we're doing laughter yoga and things like that, we're inviting others to be able to be like, oh wait, if they can do it, I can do it. If they can do it, I have permission to do it too. So a big part of this card is being able to not only be able to tap into our heart space and to be able to bring more awareness to a playful connection with the world, but also to be able to move into this place of community where we are sharing this energy with others, and we are actually inviting others to be able to connect with this energy also in a way that actually becomes both very empowering and very healing at the same time. It can be very healing for people to be like, whoa, like I haven't like just thrown a ball around in a while, or I haven't just been, you know, like able to kind of dance out in the field and under the trees, or just kind of like look up at the clouds or things like that. Like, you deserve it. Like, you deserve it. You deserve, you know what it's like when you kind of like do something, like when you kind of like see a movie when you're younger, and then you go back and you watch it when you're older, and you're like, whoa, like this movie's completely different. I still really enjoy it, but it's completely different. It's kind of like that when you grow up, where there's probably like certain things that you did as a child, and then as you grow up and you do them as more of an adult, you're like, whoa, like I still love doing this. Like I that same person, that same soul that loved doing it as a child can still love it as an adult. And allow yourself that permission to be able to really bring, again, that sense of joyful awareness, that sense of affirming your feelings, that sense of giving yourself permission, that sense of like healing any wounded beliefs that tell you that you're not allowed to do that. Obviously, you know, carry it with responsibility. Be like, honey, like, did you mow the lawn? And it's like, no, dear, I've been out dirt biking all weekend or something. Like, I don't know, like, right? Like, you gotta make sure it's in moderation. Don't, like, again, be carefree without being careless. So find a way where you're still taking care of your responsibilities as an adult, and then within taking care of those responsibilities, you're also creating a healthy place for you to still be able to play while still being able to balance. It's not literally just saying, hey, be so carefree that, like, you know, things fall to the wayside. It's like, no, like, be a responsible adult, but make sure that you give yourself permission to play. Make sure you give yourself permission to connect out with nature. Make sure you give yourself permission to play an instrument, to make art, to roll around in the grass, to play old video games, whatever you want to do. And as you do this, again, it's an investment for yourself to be able to cultivate a positive attitude towards life, to be able to bring in a more of this like warm-hearted connection with your own inner child, with your own presence, something that is shared, this zest for life. And then again, also reminding ourselves to be able to bring it into our art, to bring it into the ways that we serve people, to bring it into our relationships, to bring it into our conversations, to bring it into our kindness, to bring it into our compassion, to bring it into our social interactions. And it will change. Like, seriously, just being around people who just, you know, are in this place of seeing the world through this way, other people will start seeing it that way because they see it as well. This way is incredibly, incredibly powerful, and it's incredibly, incredibly contagious. So by awakening them to life, we approach our fulfillment. When we recognize the beauty in things, we awaken to life. So look, go outside, look at a flower. Look at the tree, look at the bugs, get down on your hands and knees, get in the dirt, drop back into that space of wonder and awe within your heart. That is incredibly, incredibly important. Just because you're an adult doesn't mean that these things are no longer important. If anything, they are more important. They are more important. Otherwise, you just kind of become like this like cold-hearted aspect of what it means to be a human. And that's a big part of this. It's like, as you kind of like drop into the feelings place, sometimes like the feelings can get kind of like so deep that they can almost kind of like separate themselves from kind of the joy as well. So it's being able to be able to like feel things on a deep level, balance once again, but being able to kind of bring in more of that healthy emotional depth within the things that bring us joy as well. So in the same way, you may be deeply, as an adult, you may be deeply engaged in the presence of a lover or a friend, and you're having conversation. Bring that same depth of conscious intention presence into the little things, into going for a walk in nature, into playing, into calling up an old friend and doing something that you haven't done before, and just kind of honoring that. It's, if you ever seen like old people doing playful things, like, isn't that the most adorable thing? We should start doing that more. And don't wait for yourself to become an old person to be able to do it. Just like start doing it, keep doing it, redo it. If you haven't done it recently, give yourself the gift of making sure that you cultivate more play within your life. And we are here as a community to cultivate that play. Again, this Thursday's broadcast, it's going to be tons of play. It's going to be the entire thing just going to be very playful. That's going to be our full moon team broadcast party. So that's going to be really cool. And again, just wrapping it up here, connecting with your feelings and bringing the awareness of those feelings as a way to amplify your awe and wonder for the world. And just kind of knowing that as you do that, you give permission for others to see the same. And again, it essentially helps us bring like more of our unique expression of life, more of our creative artistic expression into this world, and really be able to also feel things on a deeper level. Don't just observe things, but feel things. Go like feel the trees, feel the grass, feel the nature, feel the mystery, feel the awe, connect to the feelings that associate with play. Play is very, very close to the feeling of awe. When you can kind of do 2 and 2 together, that's a very, very powerful way for you to kind of reactivate aspects of yourself. So honoring the parts of our soul that maybe we've unconsciously repressed, or other people have told us that we need to, like just let die or something like that, and rejuvenating them, giving ourselves permission to play, giving ourselves permission to be able to be joyful, giving ourselves this knowing that as we do so, we will cultivate a positive affirming attitude towards life. And that can be really, really powerful. Again, you're not like being so joyful that you're naive, but you can really allow yourself to drop into this heart space that will help you cultivate joy. That becomes a positive affirming attitude as well. So this kind of mixed in with other spiritual principles is very, very powerful, especially when you're in those deep places of like understanding that you are the student and that you're showing up consciously and that things are happening for a reason and that you're following your intuition. When you're doing this, your life becomes like one giant epic movie adventure fantasy novel. Like that's one of the best ways I can describe it, because you start seeing all the synchronicities, you start seeing the way how the universe is kind of here to serve you. You're still very present with the challenges. That's a part of the story. You can actually bring a joyfulness even into your challenges. You can do that. You have permission to be able to do that. See them again as growth points. So bringing that positive attitude towards life, which again becomes contagious. I like how it's kind of a crescent, which kind of it looks like, I don't know, like a smiley face or something. So anyways, team, I got to take a break. I got to rest. That took a lot of energy just to be able to do that. Drop an 1111 in the chat. Let me know how that relates to you, and write out an affirmation as well in the chat affirming the message that came through to you. And I'll channel a little affirmation here. So I continually give myself permission to bring forth the playful and joyful energy into my work and everyday life so that I may continue to cultivate it, share it with others in an honest way that will invite them to do the same. There, that's my little affirmation. Cool, team. All right, team. Gonna read some more of those affirmations down in the chat. We're, as it is right now, team, we're in a bit of an intermission. We're gonna wait until we have that next Patreon sign up before we jump into our next reading, which is kind of standard protocol. We've done 2 readings so far. So once we get that next Patreon sign up, we'll get right into our next reading. So if anybody here, if you guys are ready to sign up for the Patreon, again, a huge thank you in advance, because you're going to help us get right into that next reading as soon as we are ready. Affirmations that we got in the chat. Pinoak says, I love painting to express my soul, dancing in the rain and laughing all the time. Beautiful. Awesome. That's cool. Toby saying, anyone used to play an instrument, but as you got older, just stopped? I love playing guitar and really want to start again. Toby, absolutely. Maybe this is the day. Kyle says, I welcome all varieties of creation and play into my moments. Beautiful. Well said. Toby, I will no longer be afraid of my negative thoughts and feelings. Instead, I will look at them through a more positive lens, acknowledging the good around me and the good that I may not see. Beautiful. Awesome. Pinox is working on a painting as we speak. Awesome. Yo, what's up, everybody on TikTok? Again, just reading some affirmations here after this reading. If you're on TikTok, click the link in my profile, join in with the team chat on YouTube. Toby says, I am the creator of my world. I will continue to embrace my inner child and will become positive and will welcome positivity even during the darkest of times. Very powerful. Thank you, Toby. Ria says, I will allow myself to see the joy in the little things, to goof around and not take life too seriously. Very well said, Ria. Jalissa, welcome. I will continue to embrace my inner child without hesitation. Awesome. And Pinox, I cultivate an attitude of abundance that is contagious. Awesome. Good job, team. Yo, what's up? What's up, everybody? Thank you again, everyone, for joining in. All right, team. As it is, team, we're going to take just a little bit of a break, though I know Julissa is here. And Julissa, you signed up between readings. You signed up between broadcasts. So Julissa, what we can actually do, Julissa, we can actually give you the next reading if you would like to facilitate that. But guys, let's keep working towards that Patreon sign-up. So let's give a nice thank you to Julissa, who's in the chat. And Jalissa, confirm if you would like to do the next reading. Again, all you're doing is helping facilitate it. I'll walk you through the meditation. But let's keep working towards those Patreon signups, guys. Because again, eventually, I only have so much energy. And I want to be able to like cultivate and alchemize that towards our Patreon signups. But again, Jalissa signed up in between. So we're going to get, so that's good. We're going to get right into this one. And we don't have to take a break here. So let's hear a nice thank you for Jalissa. But let's work on getting that Patreon sign up. Because after this... After this reading, again, we'll do a reading for the Patreon support as it comes in. If there is no new Patreon support after this one, then we'll wrap up the reading. And that's just because I got to be fair to be able to conserve my energy. As much as I love just doing infinite readings for you guys, I have to be fair to myself because these take a lot of energy to be able to do. And I'm good for probably about maybe like 6 max. So I have to be mindful, but I'm confident. I'm confident we're going to get a Patreon sign up. And again, thank you to Jalissa for signing up between broadcasts. And if you're ready to sign up for the Patreon, drop a 555 in the chat. Again, joining on Patreon is a great way to support the work that I do and the entire community with a monthly contribution. Plus, when you join on there, you can also be able to get involved as a leading member in our community, which will give you full access to our private team chat, access to work with me as a conscious media creation coach, join our weekly team podcast, discounts for the item shop, and secret videos such as my 5 gram mushroom video. So awesome. All right, team, let's see if we can reach that 210 tonight. Again, I may just stay on air until we reach 210. We'll have to see. I'll play it by ear. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to do what we want. All right, Jalissa, choosing which deck you would like to be able to... Lori, sorry, I just replied to Lori's comment. Lori says, I'm trying to join the Patreon, but it keeps redirecting her. Let me make sure I got the link there correct. Lori, you might be like maybe clicking something that's like redirecting somewhere. But that link is correct. I'm just double checking here as I pull it up. And Julissa, let us know what deck you would like to use. Would you like to use the Lightworker Oracle deck, Sacred Spirit, or Hero's Journey? So, yeah, that's weird. 1 second. Is the Patreon link being glitchy? No, it's working. I just loaded it up. Okay. No, it is working. I'm confirming that the Patreon link is working. Lori, thank you in advance. And try again. Like, even if you just have to manually type it in. But if you go to the address, and the link's in the info below, it will take you to my page. And then from there, you just join. And again, you can choose if you want to join the $5 level. Or if you want to join at the leading member, join at the $11. And again, team, when you guys join, it's like a sliding scale. So we make it $11 so that people can get like easy access to it, but it's worth way more than $11. So again, if you're already signed up for Patreon, you guys are more than welcome to increase your pledge. Whatever works for you guys is totally cool. You guys are familiar with your budget, but yeah, if we have some additional like upgrades on the Patreon, that is always another way that we can continue to do more readings. And thank you again, everyone. Jalissa, let me know in the chat if you would like to be able to help facilitate this next reading. Just to confirm, Jalissa. And let us know if you would like to use the Hero's Journey deck, Sacred Spirit or Lightwork Oracle deck. Okay, there it is. Lightwork Oracle deck. Perfect. There's a bit of delay in the chat, so. All right, team, let's get into this, and I'm confident that we're going to have another Patreon sign up as we're doing this one, and then we'll get right into the next one. So you guys are lucky tonight. We're just going to keep rolling through these readings as the Patrons keep coming in, and yeah, let's just keep rolling with this. So again, let's aim to get that next Patreon sign up before 11 p.m. So that's in like 10 minutes. I know that's soon. It only takes less than 5 minutes to sign up, and again, contributions process on the 1st of each month. So that's part of the push for tonight, is like tonight's the last night for contributions to be able to go through with this round. But even if you guys want to wait to do it later on, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. Whatever works for you guys is cool. All right, Jalissa, let's get into this reading. Thank you so much, everyone. And what we're going to do here, Jalissa, we're going to take a moment to be able to meditate. We're going to drop into our heart space, drop into gratitude. And then from there, we're going to focus our attention on the intention, show us what we need to see. And then from there, Jalissa, I'm going to invite you to connect with your breath, listen to your intuition. And then from there, you're going to type now into the chat, and then we'll pull the card. I'll walk you through it, wait for my instructions. For everybody here, join us in this little meditation. Here we go. For those of you on TikTok or Instagram, click the link in my profile, join in. We got like 1 million people tuned in on YouTube as it is right now. So cool, team. All right, let's do this. I might have to bust out some energy drink after this one. Well, I got green tea here, but the energy drink could come in handy. Let's reach that 10. Let's reach that 210 on Patreon. Let's do this. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, team. Thank you guys again. All right, let's get ready to do this. Everybody here, join us in this. Jalissa, just let me know. Drop a ready in the comments just to confirm that you're ready. And I assume you are. We're going to drop into the meditation here just so we don't have to wait for the extra 30-second delay on that. And thank you again, everyone. You guys' support in all forms is equally appreciated. And again, if you're new, if you're not sure about the Patreon, you can connect to our team chat. You can just connect to our Discord server and join in there. And we got like lots of value there, including our team meditations and everything. So, okay. All right, team. Okay, let's do this. All right, for everybody here, join us in this little meditation. Jalissa is ready. Using the Lightwork Oracle deck, for everybody here, when you're ready, gently close your eyes. Connecting with your breath, soft, gentle inhales, and soft, gentle exhales. Straightening up your spine, opening up your chest, relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your face. As you breathe here, for everybody here, just taking a moment to be able to bring your awareness to your heart space and just focusing on gratitude. Gratitude for the team, gratitude for this sacred space, gratitude for the messages we are about to receive. With gratitude in your heart for everybody here, with Jalissa and everyone, allow yourself to focus your attention on the intention, show us what we need to see. We being the individual, we being the team, we being the collective. And so as you breathe here, focusing on this intention, Jalissa and everyone, I want you to speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words. Continuing to focus in on this intention, show us what we need to see. Jalissa, take a few more moments here, connecting with your breath. Allow yourself to listen to your intuition. And when you are ready, open your eyes and type now into the chats. For everybody else, gently open your eyes and type your wizard noises in the chat while still focusing on this intention. So, all right. And we're going to charge up the deck here. Everybody here, put forth your wizard noises. Let's get ready to charge this up. Here we go. And with each and every single heartbeat, we will continue to remember how oh so neat it is to simply be in this moment, for us to choose to rise and own it. For we are the light guardians and shifters who will change this land. For we are the ones who will help others reconnect with their heart where they stand. And so as we continue to bring more magic into this world, we will continue to inspire all the boys and all the girls. And so let us open our hearts and open our minds. As Jalissa types now into the chat, we shall see what message we shall find. All right. Ooh. Oh, cool. Wow. I don't know if I've done this one on air before. This is exciting. So, all right. Okay. The card that we have got, Jalissa helping facilitate, and for everybody here, good wizard noises, everyone, is da-na-na-na, card number 31, Alchemical Mutation. Card number 31, Alchemical Mutation. Beautiful. Okay, team, give me 2 seconds here. Just going to open it up. Lori, seeing your comments here. Yeah, Lori, if you're trying to open it in the app, I would just try on desktop. Like 100% it will work, Lori. So whatever you're doing, just try something else until it works. And thank you again for being persistent. It will work on desktop, like 100%. So, all right, let's get into this. And again, team, let's work on getting a few Patreon signups back to back, team. Let's work on, getting one before 11, and then we'll see if we can get another one shortly after, and we'll just go from one reading to the next. Thank you, everyone, again for joining in. Allow me to just explain this card visually, and then we'll get right into the further explanation of it. So, if you guys are tuning on TikTok or Instagram, click the link in my profile. Here we go. This is a very, very powerful image here. And we were talking about social alchemy, so I feel like this is quite accurate. And you can see this image here of this figure kind of down on the ground with another version of them, or maybe it's a whole different character of like an angel kind of behind them, rising up into this light or jumping up with these beautiful wings. You can kind of see like the winds blowing. There's some like grass down below. They're actually kind of like focusing. There's like a little plant, almost like a little flower there, and you can kind of see there's a little bit of darkness on that side, but then there's like light on that side, so there's a bit of a balance. And again, that's just a visual image. That's just me explaining the visual image there. So let's read a little bit deeper here. Again, if anything I say resonates with you, drop an 1111 in the chat. And if you're in the process of signing up for the Patreon, we'll keep an eye open for it, but go ahead and let us know. Drop a 555 in the chat, and let's get that next Patreon sign up before we're done this reading. So here we go, team. Thanks so much, everyone. This reading is for you. Card number 31, Alchemical Mutation. Your spiritual growth is changing your mind, body, and soul. It is very real. It is helping you fulfill all aspects of your divine destiny. It is awakening spiritual talents and attracting in new energies. This process will bring tremendous joy and satisfaction. The body changes as light enters. Alchemy is catalyzed and transformation happens. Sometimes the appearance of the body changes. There will be a change in how the body feels, responds, acts, and creates. Radiance increases. Lightness of being increases. If you have clairvoyant visions, you will see the increase in light, as though the person is actually lit up within. They are. Spiritual abilities become grounded in the body, and the person can channel healing energies just as naturally as they would set the dinner table. The spirit becomes a living reality in the body, and the material world is experienced as an extension of the divine light. This alchemy is an empowering gift of love. Symptoms of this process can at times be challenging. They may include headaches and other aches and pains, flu-like symptoms, and inexplicable and nearly overwhelming fatigue that lasts for days, and then suddenly vanishes, along with a surge of new energy. We may also experience pinging in our ears, increased sensitivity to light or sound, hormonal imbalance and hot flushes, excessive sexual energy, mental obsessions or mood swings, aggression, and unintentionally harsh reactions to people. If you have been experiencing any of the above and wondered if these or other symptoms could be a direct result of increased spiritual energy affecting the body, then the answer is very likely yes. You are encouraged to source whatever professional help you need to take care of your body. Also consider using the following simple practices to ease away the side effects of divine alchemy taking place in you. These simple practices include getting regular rest. Additional sleep is a powerful way for the body and mind to heal and repair, integrate and reorganize. Allow time for your physical exercise, which can help release excess energy, especially if you tend to feel mentally congested. Take some time away from meditation, spiritual studies, or discussions and energy work. Instead, simply be in nature or rest. If you work with colors, then take a break for a short time, only working with very soft, subdued white or colorless light. If you have a tendency to push yourself with spiritual work, learning to take time off on a regular occasion will help you recover more quickly and suffer less. Finally, working with cooling energy, not cold, but refreshing, as a way to discharge excess heat can be extremely beneficial to the body and mind. You can do this by sitting in the shade or in a room that feels cool and relaxing, or even by cooling your hands before an air conditioner or fan, and then using your fingertips to transfer cool and healing energy. By lightly touching your chest, back of the neck, and back of your head, ears, and forehead. And that's where the card ends. So, okay, team, let's get ready to dive into this one. We're going to kind of move through this one pretty smoothly. Seeing a lot of 11-11s in the chat. You guys definitely resonate with this card. And I'll mention it. I'll go in. Thank you. We did get a new Patreon sign up, guys. Lori was able to get signed up. Lori, happy to see you were able to figure that out. Thank you so much, Lori. And as we're going through this, guys, please will give a nice welcome and thank you to Lori, who just signed up at the $11 level. I'll upgrade the on-screen information as we finish this one. We'll get into the next reading for Lori, and then from there we'll keep going. So, alchemical mutation. Wow, this is a very, very interesting card, and I think this is one that is important to be able to talk about because we literally talked about the idea of alchemical process prior to the readings, prior to this with the previous readings. And so with this card, it's basically kind of reminding us that, you know, your body is literally kind of like integrating these like cosmic energies, so to speak. And other than just like kind of like observing the process of them happening, we need to kind of meet the process halfway. We need to be able to show up in a way that's calibrating our body so that it can more effectively move through this alchemical process. If you have this kind of spiritual energy coming through you that, again, is probably just a result of you just kind of like naturally awakening and things like that, what you want to do is be able to create a channel for this energy to be able to move fluidly without it moving into a place of stagnation. And so this is why, again, you know, when it comes to the spiritual things, with the spiritual symptoms, the ascension symptoms, I think it's always important for people to be able to kind of like see the symptoms that they are going through as an indication to be able to give them a little bit more direction towards things that they could be doing more of. So, for example, that's why, like, if you're going through your spiritual journey, regardless of whether you're experiencing like any sort of like symptoms or anything like that, you should be focusing on the regular important things such as getting good sleep and getting exercise and paying attention to your food and water and sunlight and meaningful social interaction. If you tune into these broadcasts, you'll probably hear me mention this like every single broadcast because it's so incredibly important. Some people, like, they literally go through this process where they're just like, guys, I'm going through a spiritual awakening, but they're not really consciously at that point where they're like integrating a balance of being able to say like, okay, like, how is my diet right now? Where can I make improvements there? How is my exercise? Where can I make improvements there? How is my sleep? Where can I make improvements there? You should be looking at all of those areas to be able to make improvements, to be able to work towards more of a balanced place, because when you're doing that, you're creating like a better vessel for these energies to be able to conduct themselves through. So that's where, if you feel like you have like this like buildup of energy, and it could be a variety of energy, even again, it literally talks about, you know, this energy could even be like emotional energy. It could also be the sexual energy. Sometimes for people, if they're going through like, even if they are in the process where they're just like, hey, okay, like, I understand that I need to like cultivate this energy more, and then they're kind of going through this process, and then for some people, they're like, I've never done this before. I've never gone more than like a week not doing this before, not spilling my cup, not like, you know, again, just being able to cultivate that energy. You may find you're just like, whoa, this energy is like overly powering me right now, for men or for women. One of the best things that you can do is to make sure that, again, you're making a regular routine of exercising, that you're making sure that you're eating food, you're making sure that you're getting your sunlight, you're making sure that you're grounding yourself, you're making sure that you're connecting with nature. All of these symptoms, they aren't just symptoms where it's just like, I guess this is waking up, whoop-de-doo, like, oh shucks, I guess I can't do anything about it. No, stop looking at the symptoms as just side effects and start seeing them as teachers. Start seeing them as an indicator for what your body needs more of. And again, even if you're just like, oh, I got a bit of a cold or something like that, like, that's okay. Maybe the body's just like, okay, great time to rest. Again, you know, like, even something as simple as a cold, when it's a basic type of cold, I have this idea, and this isn't just mine, I heard this a long time ago and it really resonated with me, where like when you're going through a basic cold, like a basic cold, a regular common flu, what your body is actually doing is actually intentionally going through this flu process where it discharges things that it doesn't really need in the body. It clears things out. It clears out the junk. It clears out the gunk. It clears out additional kind of like mucus and phlegm and all of that fun stuff. And as you do this, eventually you get to the point where by the time you're done having your common cold, you're actually at a higher vibration that you were before you had it, because you clear things out and then you kind of make room for this new energy. Again, like the physical body and the energetic body, they go hand in hand. So your spiritual awareness, your spiritual journey is to be able to, again, acknowledge the process that you're kind of stepping into more of these energies, but not just focusing on the mental and not just focusing on the philosophical and not just focusing on watching videos, but to do the physical work, to do the work that is going to change your temple, that is going to change your body, that is going to change the way in which you can kind of process these energies. And then from there, that will holographically affect the way that you can utilize these energies, as well as you can show up more within your own presence, and you can bring yourself back to focus. Because that's essentially, yeah, it's going to be hard to focus on serving other people when you're just like, oh crap, I've got all these symptoms and they're kind of, you know, tossing me around for a little bit of a ride and things like that. You may have symptoms, they may kind of come and go. I don't have the full answer. Like if you have like the ringing in your ears, I don't know. I don't really know what the solution for that would be. That's, again, I can only speak from my own experience. It isn't really something I've had experience with. But again, at the same time, please, for the sake of everyone inside of the community, do not just assume that any symptoms that you have is just because of spiritual ascension. Do not get into the process of spiritual bypassing your way past indicators that you need to focus more on your health. Please, 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 please use common sense, and please don't attribute every single thing to ascension symptoms. Don't get into that mindset where you're just like, oh guys, I feel shitty today. Guess it must be my ascension symptoms. Guess I can't do anything about it. Like the way I'm saying that, I'm not saying it's bad to feel shitty. Sure, feel shitty, but at the same time, see it as an invitation for you to be able to do something with those energies, not to just become like a victim of those energies and be like, oh no, I can't do anything. Ascension symptoms. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to call people out or anything like that. But again, I just think it's important that you're using discernment in terms of your relationship to the symptoms within your own body. And you don't need to attribute everything to ascension symptoms. But when you start focusing more on your overall health, maybe it'll help you get a better indicator. Because again, it's just like, guys, like my ascension symptoms, like, oh, they've got me so like sluggish and things like that. And then meanwhile, it's just like, how is your diet? How is your sleep? How is your exercise? Have you done those things? Do those things and then tell me what your ascension symptoms feel like, and then tell me what your next steps are going to be. So again, if you have any sort of these symptoms, don't just let them sit there. Alchemize them, mutate them, transmutate them, and see it as an opportunity for you to be able to see it as a chance for you to grow and learn as you kind of like move through the process of transforming these energies, and you bring yourself back up to more of an optimized point. So again, there will be times where your symptoms might take a swing at you and they might kind of knock you down. Again, this is going to be relative. I'm not trying to be mean. I know everyone's going to have their own experience. But what I'm trying to say is, if you notice there are periods where you feel like there are symptoms related to like new energies kind of coming through you, your job is to basically be able to make sure that you maximize your uptime and minimize your downtime. Prioritize your downtime with intention, but optimize your ability to be able to transmute the energies that need transmuting, and then optimize your uptime. Make sure that you're optimizing your uptime. Yeah, again, like Toby, like kind of leaving a comment in the chat. It's just like, sorry, girl, it's my ascension symptoms. Like, imagine that. It's like, yeah, boss, I can't come into work today. I've got some really bad ascension symptoms. I just, yeah, sorry, what can I tell you? Like, sorry, that doesn't fly. If you're equating things to ascension symptoms, but you're not fully taking responsibility for the basic things, then this is a call. This is an invitation for you to be like, have I done that? Have I done that? Have I done that? And be honest with yourself. Because again, before you equate something to ascension symptoms, check in with all the other things, check in with all the basics, check in with your food, check in with your diet, check in with your exercise. When those things are in check, you will find that your ascension symptoms will become less and less and less. And you will find that your ascension symptoms actually become indicators for where you need to perhaps be able to focus your energy. Again, I think it's weird. I think the ascension symptoms is some kind of like, I don't know, like I know there's like legitimacy to it, but I do think that it's kind of been pop culturized and it has been kind of turned into a form of spiritual bypassing. Some people kind of like use it as a tool to justify spiritual bypassing and things like that. Let's make sure we're being spiritually responsible. Let's make sure that we're becoming aware of these energies and we're holding them with responsibilities. Oh no, I've got all these ascension symptoms and everything like that. But again, you know, it's like, oh, I've got all these like indicators that there's things within my life that I can kind of tweak and make adjustments to and refine and optimize and still continue to learn from. Lori, the work sessions are Monday to Wednesday at 3 to 4 p.m. EST. If you check the leading member chat, you can see that, but I'll add you to the chat after this. Getting close to wrapping up this reading, again, I think this is a very, very powerful card. And again, it even just reminds us of the important things such as being able to surround ourselves with cooling energy. So making sure that, again, you just take time to connect with nature, take time to sit in the shade, take time to go down by the water, take time to hug a tree, take time to sit in the grass. These energies are going to be very, very useful for you. Even taking time to be able to take cold showers. These things are going to be incredibly useful for you as well. But making sure that you're making... Your exercise should be a part of your spiritual practice, period. Your entire existence should be one big spiritual practice because taking care of yourself is a spiritual practice. So you don't have to separate it. Find a way to integrate it. Find a cool way where you can be able to be like, sweet, I'm not just physically exercising, I'm leveling up my Jedi skills. Like that's what I do. Like when I'm like out there playing basketball and spinning bow staff, like that's like me connecting with my flow. That's going back to the other card. Bring in the playfulness, bring in the childlike playfulness, bring that into your exercise, and that will allow you to utilize your exercise on multiple spectrums, both to physically exercise your body and to exercise your spirit and your soul and your intuition and your play. So that's really, really important. And again, making sure that you're taking time to rest and making sure that you're taking time to just sit with yourself, to slow down. Don't always have to be out there doing things. But yeah, ultimately just seeing, again, this is a card that once again calls us into more of our spiritual maturity. Absolutely. So beautiful. All right. I'm going to read a little invocation here. Drop those 1111s in the chat if this resonates with you and drop any affirmations based on the teachings of this card. And then we'll get right into the next reading for Lori. Invocation. As I'm reading this is going to be like, imagine you're hearing yourself say this to yourself. So, invocation. I call upon the beings that love me unconditionally and ask for divine grace, protection, information, and assistance, intervention and healing in all ways as I change alchemically. May my body and mind be supported and recover with divine assistance. I celebrate the alchemy that the light creates, and with kindness, I allow for it to unfold in my body, mind, and soul according to the guiding hand of divine love. May all those on the path of love and light be assisted to walk their path with as much joy and as little suffering as possible. Through my own free will and divine grace, so be it. So, very, very powerful card. Again, you know, like, there's a very powerful story here that you can optimize things within your reality, and then like as challenges arise and things like that, you can kind of like alchemize them. And again, what is alchemy? Alchemy is basically like transforming energy from one form or another. So you could alchemize, again, a shitty situation, and you can alchemize it into energy that actually helps you grow into your empowerment. Seeing whatever is happening to you, you have a choice. You either see it from a disempowering perspective or an empowering perspective. It actually is a choice. And when you know that it's a choice, you can start looking for that choice. And again, you can see it as a call to action. So very, very cool card. Awesome job to all of you alchemical social alchemists out there, to all you light guardians. This is a big part of again, about what being a light guardian is all about, is being aware of the responsibility that comes with these spiritual energies, which is, again, taking care of our physical body so that we can become a better conduit and bring forth more of this energy into our creative works and to be able to serve others along the way. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. Leave those affirmations down in the chat. I'm going to pull forth an affirmation. Just going to take a moment here. Affirmation. I will continue to focus on my physical vessel, my sleep, my exercise, my diet, my sunlight, my water, and my social interactions and my relation with community to support me and become aware of anything that I may identify as a spiritual symptom, so to speak, as an indicator for a valuable message that will direct me towards something that will help create more balance, prosperity, and overall balance within my life so I can continue to show up and serve others and optimize my uptime. So beautiful. All right, that's my little affirmation. Leave those affirmations down in the chat. Again, if you're new, write your affirmations down in the chat. That's going to basically like tell your body that you got the message here. So if you don't write this affirmation, you may forget this. Write out the affirmation. That will tell your mind that your body was listening. And I'll read some affirmations in the chat. Kat says, I commit to taking better care of my body to support my mental and spiritual health. Very well said, Kat. Good for you. Kyle says, I embrace my physical body as a channel for my spiritual arising. Beautiful. Well said. Pisces, I make choices in the name of light. I turn bad situations into opportunities for growth. I nurture this vessel and the spiritual journey. Awesome. Star Soul, I will keep myself in balance, both feet planted in physical reality while I level up. Wonderful. Julian, I am going to make sure to do what is truly right for me because I love myself. Beautiful. Well said, everyone. Those are some really good affirmations. Awesome. Hey, Shell, thanks for joining in. All right, team. Additional affirmations, we'll read those as I come in. Toby, I affirm that my body is my sacred temple and I will fill it with love and light and prioritize my well-being. Yeah, again, guys, like your job is to take care of yourself. Your job, like you are not going to evolve spiritually just because you watch more videos on TikTok. That's not how you do it. And you're not going to evolve more spiritually just because you tune into tarot readings either. Anything you take here, bring it into your actions, right? Like that's the whole idea, right? Like it's not just what you watch, it's what you do. So, Shell, I am committed to my personal growth and to my personal journey and my spiritual growth. Beautiful. Well done. Well said, everyone. Lori, I am open to receive divine healing to restore my physical body to perfect health. Beautiful. Well said, Lori. All right. Awesome. Guys, we're going to get right into our next reading. Thank you again to Lori. I'm going to update the on-screen info. And as we're doing this one, let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up. And let's see if we can create a chain reaction where we can just move from one reading into the next. So as we're doing Lori's reading, inviting another person to be able to join on Patreon. If we can reach, again, if we can reach 210 on Patreon tonight, let's do it. Let's do that. The Forever GM says, if I burn my excess energy or improving my body, I can remove useless thoughts to find purpose. Beautiful, beautiful, awesome. Thank you, Forever. Thank you so much for joining in as well. All right, team, if you guys haven't yet, please feel free to welcome and give a nice thank you to Lori. Lori, make sure that you join into the Discord server. And for anybody else who may recently be on the Patreon, since you signed up for the Patreon, what you're going to do, you're going to join into the Discord server, leave a message in the public chat, and just be like, hey, I joined the Patreon and I'd like to be involved as a leading member. And then I'll add you, I'll tag you in a welcome post, and we'll get you situated from there. So, all right. And again, the team chat, it's also in the YouTube info. Anybody from here can join the team chat, and that will give you access to the public chat. And again, let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up by, what do you guys think, like 11:30? Is that fair? Let's aim on getting another Patreon sign up by 11:30. So again, that's a monthly contribution, and it gives you the option to join as a leading member, and you can sign up at the $11 level. And thank you again, Lori, and thank you again, everyone. Lori, let's get right into our next reading. You're going to get to choose what deck you would like to be able to use, not just for yourself, but for the team. So Lori, you can choose from Lightworker Oracle deck, which is what we just chose from, Sacred Spirit, which is a new deck, and Hero's Journey, which is another new deck, or the classic deck, which is the Ananda Tarot deck. So whichever one you would like to choose from, go ahead and let me know in the chat. And again, if anybody is ready to sign up for the Patreon, do me a favor and drop a 555 in the chat, and let's just get a scope on that as we get right into this next reading. I'm confident that there's somebody here ready to sign up. Or again, if any of the Patreon supporters already signed up, if you guys want to increase your pledge, please feel free to do that, and then that will just take us right into the next reading as well. And thank you again for those of you on TikTok and Instagram and all platforms. All right, once we decide what deck we're going to move into, we're going to get into the next reading. And guys, I appreciate your support. Seriously, like these broadcasts take a lot of energy. Like they really do. Like just as like Pinox did one of these a couple days ago, and I think even Pinox, I mean, like you tell me, like how was that for you? Like it was pretty exhausting, right? Like I can do these because I've trained myself to do these, but again, just I appreciate you guys like honoring the energy that goes into this. This is an alchemical process of me serving as a conduit to deliver inspiration, to speak to your guys' heart, to be a mirror of reflection, and to inspire you. I hope that things that I have said have integrated their way into your perception and your life and help you continue to evolve on your journey of conscious evolution. All right, beautiful team. Okay. All right, we're gonna do the Lightworker Oracle deck again. All right, so we're gonna do 2 of those in a row. So we'll see that maybe the next Patreon sign up will be for one of the other decks, because the other decks are still really cool. So awesome. All right. Yeah, good job, Pinox, on the reading. Yeah, Pinox said, I was so tired afterwards. I was having so much fun. I wasn't paying attention, but definitely worth it, right? And guys, stay tuned. Pinox is going to be doing some more tarot reading in the future, I'm sure. So make sure you're connected there. Reminder for leading members, we have our work period tomorrow at 3 to 4 p.m. That's where, again, you can join to be able to brainstorm conscious media creation. And for those of you who are even on the public, just go to my YouTube, check the new videos, and you can find the new videos for our team meetings there as well. Quick survey, if you guys were tuned in for the global meditation that we did on August 27th, drop a 777 in the chat. I'd love to just be able to know who's here as a result of having tuned in there. And thank you again, everyone, so much for your support. All right. Lori, let me know which one you want. There's a 30-second delay in the chat, Lori, so once you decide, let me know. If you want to change to the Sacred Spirit one, just let me know. So yeah, and hosting morning meditation on Wednesday for is Pinox doing that one? That'll be, yeah, I think we're still figuring that out. Awesome. Sweet, guys. Yeah, we got so much content that we provide for you guys. Again, between our morning team meditations, between our team meetings for our leading members, to our weekly team podcasts, and me being able to support you guys as a conscious media creation coach, and just being able to be in that space of an amazing team and amazing community. Looks like everybody here was tuned in for the August 27th meditation. Guys, I'll give you guys a heads up. I'm going to be posting about this in the next little bit. We are going to be aiming for another big global meditation on November 11th. So yeah, like the 11/11 date. We always do a big one on that, but that will be probably the next big one. And then after that, December 21st, there will probably be something between then. We'll do some full moon stuff, but the 11/11 one on November 11th, that will be a big one. So, all right, so we're doing the Sacred Spirit deck based on Lori's choice. So that's totally cool, Lori. All right, team, let's get right into this next reading. And again, for anybody here, if you guys are ready to sign up for the Patreon, do me a favor, drop a 555 in the chat. Only takes a couple minutes to be able to sign up. You can sign up with a PayPal. You can sign up for with credit card. Again, contributions process tomorrow, so that's part of the reason why we're inviting people tonight, just to be able to see if we can reach those additional goals. But again, if you guys are tuned into this, you can sign up for the Patreon any day. Like, sign up tomorrow, sign up a week from now, whatever works for you. The invitation's there. Sign up as a way for you to be able to like energetically put forth that energy where you're like, yes, I support this, I want to see more of this, and I want to be able to invest more in myself and to be able to receive the benefits of being a part of this community. So awesome. Yeah, good vibes to everybody here. Sending you guys good vibes. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Let's get right into this next reading, and I'm just going to open up my window. So Lori, just let me know in the chat that you're ready, and we're going to drop into that little meditation. Awesome. One second. All right, team, let's get ready to do this. Thank you again, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Lori, our newest Patreon supporter. Thank you, everyone, for your support in all forms. Let's get right into this reading. And again, guys, let's get that next Patreon sign up as we're doing this one, and then we'll go right into the next reading after this without having to take any sort of intermission. and I'll keep doing my best. You guys are awesome. And for everybody here, let's drop into this little meditation. When you are ready, for everybody here, for Lori, for everybody here, we're going to drop into our heart space, focus on the intention, show us what we need to see. And then Lori, I'll walk you through it. You'll listen to your intuition, and then you'll type now into the chat. Just follow my instruction. We'll flow right through this. Here we go. For everybody here, when you're ready, gently close your eyes. Allow yourself to connect with your breath. Maybe for some of you, this might be like the first deep, meaningful breath of the day. So just give yourself that gift. Nice, soft inhale. Nice, soft exhale. Continuing to breathe here. Straightening your posture, opening your chest, relaxing your face. For everybody here, for Lori, gently, if you want, you can put your hands on your chest, bring yourself into this heart space, and taking a moment here to focus on gratitude. Gratitude for the messages we are about to receive, gratitude for the team, gratitude for yourself. And as you're in this space of gratitude, we're going to focus our attention on the intention, show us what we need to see. We as in the individual, we as in the collective, we as in the team, this amazing team of light guardians, of light workers, of shifters, people helping assist with the shift in consciousness. Continuing to focus on this intention, show us what we need to see. For Lori and for everybody here, I want you to speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. Lori, continuing to breathe here, take a few more moments, listen to your intuition, and when you're ready, open your eyes and type now into the chat. For everybody else, gently open your eyes now and type your wizard noises in the chat, and let's charge this up. Here we go. Sacred Spirit deck. Here we go. First Sacred Spirit deck reading of tonight. Let's see what we got. This deck is still brand new. Here we go. And on the whispers of this infinite air, we will continue to hear the love that truly cares, the love that will blow its way through our hair as we stand on the cliffside of our destiny, as we look out and we truly see all the many paths that are before you and me that will lead us back to the infinite mystery of being within our heart, of being here and now, of allowing others to know that this is truly how that we get to show up together as light guardians and shifters of this earth, and we will help change the story within this journey of our cosmic rebirth. Shoobity boobity 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 skibbity bop bop bop. And as Lori types now into the chat, we shall pull forth the card and see what message the universe has. All right. Okay, all right. The card that we have pulled from the Sacred Spirit deck for everybody here, the card that we have pulled is card number 13, Emotional Challenges. Card number 13, Emotional Challenges. I'm just going to go out on a whim here, but reminding you, every message that comes through is a meaningful one. So let's hold space for this one. So for everybody who's here, you are here for a reason. Allow yourself to just be open to this. I send you guys good vibes. If you're going through anything, you are strong enough to move through it. Remember to breathe, drink water. See this as an opportunity for you to just be able to connect with your heart, connect with your breath, and you are in a safe space. Here we go. As we move through this card, let's keep an eye on that next Patreon sign up. Yeah, what card number 13? Oh yeah, I talked about card number 13. That's right. All right. Again, team, as we're moving through this, let's get that next Patreon sign up as we're doing this. You guys can listen to this. You can sign up for the Patreon as we're doing it at the same time. And yeah, let's just focus on this reading for the time now. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Emotional Challenges with this beautiful artwork by our friend Lewis Dyer. He's a good buddy of mine whose art is all throughout this deck. Beautiful image here of this kind of like multi-dimensional spirit version of an entity. But you can see the emphasis here is kind of like these golden tears that are kind of running down the face here. And you can see these beautiful purple energies up above, and in their hand they're kind of holding this like little like puddle of tears that are running down their face. Just a beautiful image. Not too much to be able to explain here. You guys can obviously see it. And again, that's just me literally explaining the visual images here. And there's not too much subtleties. It's pretty much what you see. And yeah, just an overall very, very powerful image. So let's dive a little bit deeper here. So thank you again, everyone, for being here. If you're here, this message is for you. For those of you on TikTok or Instagram, go ahead and click the link in my profile. Join in on YouTube. We'll keep an eye open for that Patreon joining. And yeah, let's just allow ourselves to be present here. Number 13, emotional challenges. Express yourself clearly, resolve the issue. It is not uncommon for individuals to experience regular emotional challenges. A part of the human experience is to go through different stages of the emotional wheel, from love, joy, and happiness to grief, sadness, and betrayal. Not all emotions can be conveyed at once, and therefore a process of understanding our current past feelings to move forward with an issue or challenge is essential. I'm going to reread that. Not all emotions can be conveyed at once, and therefore a process of understanding our current and past feelings to move forward with an issue or challenge is essential. We can't always be light and fluffy. We must acknowledge feelings such as anger or bitterness. Refusing to acknowledge personal anger, resentment, or mistreatment towards yourself will only leave you feeling depressed, with your self-worth being sacrificed just to please others. I'll reread that again. Refusing to acknowledge personal anger, resentment, or mistreatment towards yourself will only leave you feeling depressed, with your self-worth being sacrificed just to please others. Right now, you are experiencing an emotional challenge. You may be feeling overwhelmed, have had your trust broken, or felt betrayal from people close to you. You may have been hurt by others either physically or emotionally. Know that you have the resilience and strength you need within you to overcome this challenge. This is a temporary phase. You must acknowledge your emotions now if you would like to move forward quickly. It is important to remember not to dwell on events for too long, as they can keep you stuck and stagnant in life. Verbal confrontations are possible now. Attempt mediation to remove the emotional charge out of the conversation so all parties can be heard and express themselves equally. Remember, you can only heal something you choose to acknowledge. If you have experienced a traumatic event or continued cycles of emotional triggers, please seek a suitable professional that can help you unpack the emotional baggage and get to the real cause of the issue. Shadow aspect. Fear in displaying emotions, self-sabotage, denial, sacred crystal, rhodonite, angel assistance, guardian angel JOL, stress, practicality, calmness, and awareness, affirmation. I acknowledge and express my emotions with ease and grace. Beautiful, beautiful card here. Just give me 2 seconds, guys. We just got to restart the Instagram feed. This will just take half a second here. And we'll get right into this. Okay. All right. Again, team, as we're doing this, let's work on getting that Patreon sign up. If you're already signed up for the Patreon and you guys want to increase your pledge, you can do that. And then we'll get right into another reading as well, opposed to just it being a brand new sign up. Just give me 2 seconds here. I just have to upgrade the camera thing. Pew, pew, pew. Okay. So if anybody's ready to sign up for the Patreon, just drop that 555 in the chat. We're live back on all platforms. And let's get right into this. Perfect. All right. Okay. There we go. All right. This is a very powerful card. And I hope that everybody hearing this is just kind of open to the very, very powerful message. It's a very, 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 very powerful affirmation that can come through right now that I think a lot of us can relate to, because at some point we go through our emotional journeys. We go through the emotional wheel, and much like the previous cards that we had before this, again, what did we have? We had Queen of Cups, all about being in our emotions, being in our heart. We had Nine of Cups, about being in that kind of like deep place of emotion, but in a joyful way. And also within the last card, which was Alchemical Mutation, which was very much about being able to kind of move through challenging situations and transmute them into growth. This card is really hitting upon this, and it's reminding us that, again, these emotions are messengers. These emotions are things that are giving us an opportunity to be able to see more of ourselves. These emotions are ways for us to be able to move energy, for us to be able to practice stepping into places of empowerment. When you feel that your boundaries have been crossed, when you feel that your emotions have been hurt, when you feel that the respect that you deserve is not being echoed, it will hurt. But again, why does it hurt? It hurts because you care. It hurts because you love. At the depth of every single emotion, most of them, you can usually actually find that it's actually love in disguise. For example, if you're angry about something, you're usually only angry about something because you care about something. So if someone did something to you that you were not very happy with, acknowledge the idea that that anger you may be feeling is because you stand for the justness of equality and not having boundaries crossed and everything like that. Now, again, make sure that you're not like just processing these emotions from a place of, well, in most cases, you will be processing emotions from a place of your own previous wounds, but make sure you're responsibly processing these emotions. Don't get into this habit of being like, oh my God, that person made me feel jealous, or that person made me feel insignificant, or that person made me feel like I'm not worthy or something like that. Like, yes, they may have done something that caused you to respond in that way, but don't give away your power where it's like, this person is making me feel angry, this person is making me feel sad, this person is making me feel depressed. Get out of that habit. Get out of that habit, please, right now, because I understand where it's coming from, but when you're doing that, you're giving your power away. Like, your power can't be taken away. It can only be given unconsciously away, relatively speaking. And so when you are in a situation where you're just like, oh, I'm so pissed off right now because this person did this, that's okay. But rather acknowledge that it's like, hey, this person did something and I am responding with these emotions. I am responding. I am experiencing anger. I am experiencing sadness. I am experiencing betrayal and things like that. But you acknowledge the idea that you are consciously experiencing those without the intention to get stuck in them. Because isn't that the worst? Don't you guys hate when you're on the other side of that and like suddenly someone else's feelings become your responsibility because you were just living your life? Like, that doesn't feel very good when you're on the other side of that. So don't subconsciously do that to other people. If other people are genuinely like just kind of like not doing something to intentionally hurt you, but it's triggering something inside of you, you're responsible for that trigger. You're responsible for that trigger. You're responsible for being able to sit with it. You're responsible for being able to process it. You're responsible for being able to get curious with it. So again, with this card, it's a very important card to be able to acknowledge that your journey is to be able to move through these emotions and to be able to not dwell on them longer than you need to. There will be periods within your life where you will kind of move through emotions and you may kind of find you're just like, oh shit, man, something really heavy happened. And there's a process of grief, and grief happens in stages. Grief is a very, very specific thing that is going to be unique to every single person and everything like that. But if it's like grief relative to, say, for example, like a breakup or something like that, use that as an actual opportunity for you to be able to experience your grief, but then for you to also be able to use it as a catalyst for you to grow into something new, for you to rise through those emotions, for you to be able to see the feelings that you're feeling in that grief as places where you can send yourself more love. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. There are many different forms of grief. I'm never going to tell you what should or shouldn't be the way that you should do it. But obviously you want to be able to bring mindness, self-awareness to it. You want to be able to bring consciousness to it. And you want to be able to acknowledge. You want to be able to acknowledge these emotions in the first place. Because if you're just like suppressing these emotions or ignoring these emotions, you're doing yourself a disservice. And again, you know, I love this part. This is very specific here. It says refusing to acknowledge personal anger, resentment, or mistreatment towards yourself will only leave you feeling depressed with self-worth being sacrificed just to please others. One of the things here, it's kind of subtle, but we also need to be able to acknowledge when we are mistreating ourselves. That's very, very, very important. That's very, very important because, again, if we're just kind of like getting into this habit where we're kind of mistreating ourselves without fully being conscious of it, that cycle will usually perpetuate itself. And again, this is something that we'll usually do when we're in a place of like still healing our emotions. You know, oftentimes it will turn to vices, it will turn to food, it will turn to gluttony, it will turn to lust, it will turn to sloth, it will turn to kind of like these, again, these lower vibrational states. And it's not to say that, again, you know, being there is like something that you should penalize yourself over, but understand that that's not where you want to stay. You don't want to stay there. You don't want to stay there. So if you're in a process where, again, going back to the previous card about the social alchemization, the alchemical mutation, notice when you're in those places where you may feel like you're depressed and you may feel that you're sad, and see that as an invitation for you to be like, okay, what do I need right now? What do I need right now? What can I do right now? And that's where if you're just literally in a place where you're just like, I feel really sad or I feel really heavy, say for example, if it's like after a relationship ends or something like that, after a breakup, or as I like to call them, breakthroughs, after that, one of the best ways that you can do is to be able to like physically move the energy out of your body. Exercise. Like, this isn't just like some sort of like psychological thing, it's a physiological thing, but your energy will get stuck in your body if you don't move it. So you need to make sure that you're consciously aware of the ways in which you can move it. So again, this can be by talking to someone. This can be, again, you guys have had that before where, you know, you feel, you're just like, oh, this feels like shit. I feel like shit. But then you get on the phone with your friend and you talk for a while and they're generous enough to hold space. And then by the time you're done, they're like, are you feeling better now? And you're like, yeah, I kind of am. Thanks. Like, why? Why does that happen? Because you needed to move that energy. You needed to be able to communicate it, whether it be to someone else or the direct people who are involved with the situation, if it's relative to that. And maybe that'll be a stepping stone where you communicate to someone else and then eventually you bring it into the circumstance. But see it as an opportunity where if you feel like things are out of balance, if you feel like lines have been crossed, if you feel like there is injustice, if you feel like there is mistreatment, allow it to also be an invitation for you to kind of step into that place of communication, speak your truth, step into your empowerment, and allow yourself to take those actions that you yourself will see yourself show up as a co-creator of that experience, opposed to just kind of unconsciously or sometimes consciously kind of just playing the victim role, so to speak. It's okay to understand that you are hurt, but at the same time, it's also important to understand that you are fully responsible to decide what you're going to do with that experience. And that is not, no one else can do that, you know? Like, honestly, there will be experiences within this life. This is kind of like a hard thing to sit with, but don't create a circumstance where your emotional state becomes dependent on somebody else's actions. It's great when people do things that make you feel happy, but don't make it where your happiness depends on somebody else's actions, such as in a relationship, such as in a codependent relationship. Honey, what? Like, I thought you were going to be available tonight to sit at home and watch Netflix with me, and now you're saying that you have to go out with other friends, and now I'm sad. Hear that, honey? I'm sad. You made me sad, honey. How dare you? And then you like emotionally manipulate them. That's what that is. That's like actually like emotional manipulation and emotional abuse. If you're subconsciously doing that by basically making it somebody else's responsibility for your emotions and then using those emotions to gaslight other people, like, I'm sorry, that's not cool. Those aren't the people that I want to be friends with. And if my friends ever did do that, that was something that I would call them out on bullshit right away. And if you observe that, if someone else is like doing that and you're on the other side of that, speak your truth. Feel the emotion that arises there. You're just like, sorry, but no. I never promised you that this was going to be a thing that I was going to do. It's important for me to hang out with other people. And if you care about me, you would encourage me to hang out with other people. And I think you'll be just fine hanging out without me. And I hope you have an awesome night. You know, something like that. And again, that could be a relationship, that could be a friend or something like that. But again, it's very unhealthy to make it so that you're emotional state is dependent on somebody else's actions. You're putting yourself in a corner there. You're not being fair to yourself. And like that's the most important thing at the end of the day. So again, the emotions that we move through, we're just going to move on to this because guys, I got to take a break. This is taking a lot of energy right now. And we're still holding space for the next Patreon supporter. So guys, let's get that next Patreon supporter as we get this card wrapped up and we'll get right into the next one. But just wrapping it up here, this is a very, very powerful card again. Part of the objective here is to be able to notice when you do get into these emotional states where sometimes things do feel heavier and they feel scary and they feel like daunting, and to be able to see them as an opportunity for you to be able to connect deeper with your emotions, but for you to bring more consciousness, for you to be able to bring light into the shadow, to bring consciousness into the unconsciousness, to find places within yourself that you are healing, to be able to sit with curiosity with your triggers. Your triggers become your teachers, and for you to really be able to be like, well, why does that make me feel that way? Oh, wait, I know. It's because I was unconsciously giving away my power by creating expectations in my mind of what other people should do. And when they don't do that and when they don't meet my expectations, suddenly I'm like disappointed and things like that. I mean, it's going to be different. It's going to be different if you're like genuinely just creating a thing with your friend and you create a promise. And then if they don't come through by pure flakeness, you can be like, well, that kind of makes me feel a little bit disappointed. And you can communicate that. Just be like, yeah, next time, maybe just give me a heads up. Like, I'm understanding, but nah. So again, whether the emotions are something that's like really deep or whether it's just something where you just feel like something's a little bit off, use it as an opportunity to see what you can do with those emotions, how those emotions can actually become a call to action, how you can use it as an opportunity to communicate more clearly, to see it as a way to quickly address things. Do not let things pester. Like, just getting close to wrapping it up here. Do not be that thing where like somebody does something to you that slightly steps over your boundary and then you're just like, oh, it's not a big deal. Whatever. Like, yeah, it did bother me, but it would just cause more trouble if I talked about it. I don't want to talk about it. A lot of people do this, and no shame. But eventually over time, move into that place where if something comes up, and even if it's slightly something that just doesn't sit right, something a partner does, something a friend does, address it right away. As soon as you can. As soon as it's appropriate to do so, address it. Let them know in a way that's like, again, constructive. Hey, honey, when you did this thing, this is how it made me feel. Like, this is how I felt. I'm not even like angry that it made me feel this way, but I'm letting you know this is how it made me feel. I'm sharing this with you so that you can be more aware of how your actions are kind of like affecting me, even though it may not have been your intention to do something. But maybe next time this will be an opportunity for both of us to be able to bring more awareness. And then the partner's like, oh, babe, like, thank you so much for communicating that. I'm gonna just continue to bring more sensitivity into what it is that I'm communicating, and thank you for letting me know that this is where you are, and thank you for letting me know that this is how it made you feel, and this helps me communicate more clearly. And that's how you build a healthy relationship. Don't be back and forth where people are constantly going over each other's boundaries and nobody's communicating, and then flash forward like a month and everybody's like just like so pissed off at each other. Like, don't, if you feel like there's some sort of resentment building up between you and another person, you either need to communicate clearly with them, or you need to transform the relationship and maybe conclude the relationship, end it, whatever it may be. But if it's a relationship you care about, again, what you want to do is you just want to be able to continue to bring as much awareness into it by bringing as much awareness as you can into your own emotions with responsibility. And the last thing I'll just say here is, again, understand that your objective is to be able to move through your emotions with the intention to kind of sit with them as long as you need to, and then get back into another state. Don't sit with your emotions so much to the point where it becomes like this abyss. And if it does, again, no shame. But even if it does that, if you feel like that's the case, that's where you should get into the other things I talked about, like focusing on your diet, your exercise, your sunlight, your sleep, your things like that. Because that's going to help create like the motivation and the base for you to create those additional choices. That's going to help you kind of leverage yourself out of those circumstances. But again, your objective moving forward is to notice when you go through like little triggers or little emotional experiences that you'll actually spend like less time required to transmute them. Something that might have pissed you off that you spent like you know, a week mulling over. Maybe next time it occurs, you see it, you observe it, you get curious about it, you hold space within yourself, you hold compassion, you find a way to communicate clearly, you address the issue, things happen, and you move forward from there. Hey, I'm really glad we talked about this. Okay, boom, let's move forward from there. Don't let it dwell. Don't let it dwell. Don't let it become this thing. And again, even through the things that where you're like experiencing like the heartbreak and stuff like that, over time, you will be actually able to, again, accelerate the rate at which you can kind of move through those emotional hurdles, and seeing those emotional hurdles as, again, more ways to be able to bring more awareness to the depths of your emotion, to be able to become more in tune with them, and to also be able to step into more of your own worth and more of your own self-empowerment as well. So emotional challenges bring forth great growth. And again, it brings forth an opportunity for us to be able to cultivate more consciousness. Guys, drop an 1111 in the chat if that resonates with you, and I hope let me know, like, did some of you need to hear that card? Was that something that was really helpful for you guys? Please feel free to let me know, or let anybody in the chat know. So I'm gonna share a little affirmation here. So I devote myself to bringing consistent emotional awareness to my emotional. I devote myself to bringing awareness to my emotional presence, my emotional energy, and to carry and process these emotions in a responsible way so that I can show up in my relationships with myself and others in the best manner possible. And to not gaslight people with my own emotions, because those are my responsibilities, not theirs. So awesome. All right, team. Any other affirmations, leave those in the chat. Again, if you're new, write out an affirmation in the chat. That will tell your like body that you are listening, and it will help you embody the message that we just shared. Awesome. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, good job, everyone. Again, thank you so much, Lori, for adding your support onto the Patreon. Guys, as it is right now, we're in a bit of a intermission phase before we get ready to move into our next reading. Again, I just got to honor the energies that we're doing here as we get ready to be able to invite more people to the Patreon. We'll read some affirmations as we move forward here, but then again, as we're hanging out here, if you guys are ready to sign up for the Patreon, go ahead, click the link in my profile if you're on TikTok, or if you're on YouTube, you can find the info there. And once we have that next Patreon sign up, we'll get right into our next reading. But this will give me a chance to just kind of take a break. And hopefully we'll get into that reading as soon as possible. Otherwise, that will be the last reading for tonight. But I'm confident that we got somebody here who's ready to sign up for the Patreon. Affirmations. I am the one who chooses how I feel. Ooh, very powerful, Kyle. That summarizes it very well. And that's the thing, right? Like, feeling something can literally become a choice. When you're at that degree of consciousness, you can be like, okay, I'm feeling angry, and you know what? Yeah, I'm going to choose to feel angry for a little bit, because I'm going to sit with this anger and I'm going to pay attention to it. I'm not going to pretend that it's not there. And when I sit with it, kind of like a child throwing a tantrum, you'd be like, what's wrong? Talk to me. Why do you feel this way? Oh, that's why I feel this way, because I actually really care about something and some sort of boundary got crossed. And now I'm more aware of that, and now I know how to be able to resolve that. So you're responsible. You're like an adult for like the child inside of you sometimes. And that child inside of you can be your emotions as they're continuing to mature. Toby says, I acknowledge the divine power within and affirm I am not my emotions and feelings. I existed before them and will after. I am simply the observer and have full control. Very interesting. Again, I think it's a balance there, Toby, where it's like you are your emotions, but you're not your emotions. You are the experience of your emotions. Maybe another way to word it. But absolutely, I totally agree with what you're saying there, where you can step back and be the observer. That's also very important. I am sad opposed to I am experiencing sadness. Quite different. The emotions can be like the clouds floating through the sky. They come and go, you know? So all of this is transient. GTM says, this was for my friend. She came for the first reading, but it took some time to get through, so it turned out this was for her. She went to sleep, but we'll hear tomorrow. Incredible. Thank you so much. Awesome, GTM. Beautiful. Thank you, Lunar Kai, Libra Sun, Mercury, and Mars. Awesome. Kai, thank you so much for joining in. Pisces, I am so grateful for my newfound ability to be responsible for emotions and love through them responsibly at my own pace. Beautiful. Well said, Pisces. Shell, I am projecting my reality with love and light while healing and growing. I am aware of my emotions and personal strength. I accepted my personal truth. Awesome. I will think twice before getting sad or mad because I am a wise man, says Julian. Well said, everyone. Good job. Yeah. Again, like that's the thing. If you're going through the emotions, again, it's also this idea that the emotions you're going through, as you heal them within yourself, you're healing them within the collective. So when there's like those bigger emotions and those bigger traumas, again, like there's this very powerful idea that's like, as a soul, you're going through those because you're brave enough to go through them to be able to heal and to be able to help heal the collective. And then also in healing, you gain the wisdom and the empathy to know how to heal that. And then you'll eventually be able to help others along the way who may go through similar stories later down the road. So again, as you learn how to heal through your emotions, you're also cultivating like as a beacon of consciousness to teach others how to do the same. What happens if everybody in the world was like emotionally responsible? That's a very, very powerful world. Lori says, wow. With that, I have to get some sleep and meditate on that message. Thank you so much. Happy to be a part of the team. Lori, thank you so much for joining in. Happy to have you here. Pisces, move through emotions. Okay, that makes sense. We have emotions. We are not our emotions. Yeah, that's another way of putting it. Awesome. Thank you, Lori. Thank you again for your support on the Patreon. So happy that you were able to join us. And yeah, for everybody here. Oh, Pisces is heading out too. Awesome. All right, Pisces, thank you again. Pisces, confirm in the chat on Discord if you're still good to do the the tarot reading tomorrow. And again, I can help you with that. We can coordinate on the side to make sure it's broadcast through YouTube. Beautiful. Awesome. Toby, thank you so much, everyone. It looks like quite a few people are ready to jump off right now, team. Again, I am willing to be able to hang out here to be able to hold space as we invite more people to be able to join the Patreon. Some of you guys are going to sleep, but I'll stay up for a little bit longer. If we can get that next Patreon sign up, I'm ready to go into another reading. Again, Patreon, that's where you can support the work that I do with a monthly contribution. You guys are welcome to sign up at any time of the month. Today was like a little bit of a bonus push towards the final day for processing. And again, if you guys, quick thing, if you guys are thinking of signing up for the Patreon in the future, if you're not signing up today, but you're thinking of signing up in the future, just give me a heads up and drop a 777 in the chat. And I'd love to just be able to get a scope on that. Because I think Toby, you mentioned you were looking at joining up on the Patreon as well. Awesome. Beautiful. Yes, thank you again, everyone. Guys, all right. Let's get that next Patreon sign up. Looks like we got quite a few people jumping out, but for those of you who are still around, we'll hang out here. If we can get a new Patreon sign up, we'll get right into that next reading. Otherwise, maybe I'm going to bed too. Maybe it's an early night for me too. I haven't fully decided just yet, but nonetheless, thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. And again, joining on the Patreon only takes 5 minutes. That's a monthly contribution. And again, if you guys already joined on the Patreon, if anyone upgrades their Patreon right now, we'll jump into a next reading, and then we don't have to take a little bit of a break here, because I want you guys to be able to get as much value out of this as possible. Awesome. Julian dropping the 777, Kat dropping the 777. Thank you guys so much. Happy to be able to have you here. And yeah, if anybody is thinking of signing up, again with the if anybody's upgrading their Patreon pledge, let me know in the chat. And we can just kind of hold space for this. But I just need to rest. I just need to rest my voice. But I'm ready to move to next reading once we have the next Patreon. So, yeah, I'm willing to stay up for a while longer. Obviously, just got to be mindful of the energies and everything like that. So, just checking things here. Just checking in. All right. Awesome. Thank you again, everyone. Yeah, if you guys can like plug the Patreon, please feel free. Yeah, reminder, the items from the shop, the Light Guardian crystals, you can use your discount from your Patreon to get those. For some people, like that's actually a selling point where it's like, if you join the Patreon and get a Light Guardian crystal, you literally make your money back, like on the Patreon. Like you save money by being able to do that and get an item. And again, those are exclusive items that I make for the members of the team. And you can order those through the Quest item shop. Links in my profile. So you can see there's a beautiful Lumerian one there as well. So, all right, team. What do you guys think? Is anybody ready to sign up for the Patreon? You guys tell me and we'll feel this out. And if we're wrapping up in the next little bit, again, I'm okay with that. Guys, it's been an amazing month. Energy is kind of like non-relative and everything like that. So I am over the moon with the amount of support that we've been able to cultivate this month, and I'm excited for the month ahead. So it's still a complete victory, and this was just a nice little bonus. And again, a lot of people who are joined in are going to be signing up in the future, so it's all equally important. So beautiful. All right, team. If anybody's ready to sign up for that Patreon, go ahead, drop that drop a 555 in the chat. Pin Oaks, for the battery, I would find those little finger light things where you can, like, the little finger light toys, those have batteries in them. You can probably find some of those. I actually have to find, I want to be able to order some bulk batteries, but Pin Oaks, look into finding those batteries. Like, don't order them from me. You can probably find them at like the dollar store or something like that. That's my recommendation. Otherwise, you're just paying for like shipping for, I mean, the batteries don't cost much and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm going to be getting some bulk batteries. I got to look, that's part of my job tomorrow, so. But yes. Awesome, just checking out things here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Awesome, thank you again, everyone. All right, team, I'm just kind of resting here. Holding space, team, we might be done for tonight. I'm not entirely sure. Again, if anybody is ready to sign up for the Patreon, go ahead and let me know. I'm ready to get into another reading. We do have, like, yeah, we have 5 people on TikTok and 11 people on YouTube right now, and a couple people on Instagram as it is right now. All right, team. So again, thank you everyone so much for joining in. If you guys are ready to join on Patreon, you can also choose from one of the decks that we have for the next reading. And again, that can be the Lightworker Oracle deck, Sacred Spirit, Hero's Journey, or the Ananda Tarot deck. And if anybody wants to upgrade their Patreon pledge, we'll go into one more reading. So yeah, and happy early full moon, everyone, as well. Again, for those of you tuned in on any platform, you guys can find the Patreon through the link in my profile, and you can also join in on YouTube there. We've done, how many readings did we do tonight? Was that 4 readings? Yeah, we did 4 readings already tonight. And again, what did we learn? That was some powerful readings. Again, being able to like develop like emotional intelligence and emotional maturity, and taking responsibility for our emotions and seeing them as challenges to grow from, and not bypassing our emotions either, and dropping into more of that like self-awareness, into that meditative state, and reprogramming our minds and our brains into new habits of self-development. Like, that's the thing. Once you start like seeing your emotions from a different perspective, you're also developing like a pattern that will perpetuate. And then next time in the future where you're like, oh no, I'm angry, you'll be like, ooh, this is actually a trigger to like cultivate more self-awareness, right? So see it as like a prompt. Allow it to become a prompt for you to be able to become more conscious in that moment. All right, team. Standing by here. Let's see if we can get another Patreon sign up. If anybody's ready to sign up for the Patreon, drop a 555 in the chat. For those of you on TikTok, you guys can click the link in my profile. If there's no new Patreon in the next little bit, we'll call it a night. We'll wrap it up. Again, 4 readings is plenty, but I am totally down to be able to do another reading before we wrap this up, or even a couple more readings. And thank you again, everyone, for your support. Again, when you join on the Patreon at the $11 level a month, that's where you can join as a leading member. And if you are a conscious media creator, joining at the leading member level is a great way for you to be able to receive additional support to support you on your journey of conscious media creation, and to be able to join our regular work periods for conscious creators, join our on-air team podcast, work with me as a conscious media creation coach, and get discounts for our item shop, and get access to my 5-gram mushroom video. So, all right, team, if anybody's ready to sign up for the Patreon in the chat, drop a 555 in the comments. Or again, if any of the other Patreon supporters, if you guys are ready to upgrade, please feel free to let me know. Thank you again, everyone, for joining in. We'll see. We might be done. We might be done. I don't know for sure yet. You guys will decide. And even if we're done early, again, the party continues. So beautiful. Awesome. Thank you, Julian, for joining in. Taking a moment here, just checking in. Awesome. Hatch, did you have a question about the Light Guardian crystals? Yeah, with the Light Guardian crystals, they come with a solid color. Wait, did Hatchdog, did you order? Wait. Oh, Hatchdog, you already got one. Oh, okay. Hatchdog, when did you order your Light Guardian Crystal? I'm just trying to put two and two together. Because obviously I sent it to you. Was that a while ago? Okay, either way, Hatchdog, thanks. Cool. Alright, thanks again everyone for joining in. Again, if we have someone ready to sign up for the Patreon, go ahead and let me know, guys. Otherwise, I think we're probably wrapping it up soon. People are just kind of trickling out, so that's okay. You're just answering about mine. Okay, cool. Okay. Oh, cool. Oh, sweet. Hatchdog, I sent you one in a kit a long time ago. Okay. Back in the day. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Thank you, Hatchdog. I'm glad you enjoy it. So. All right, feeling things out here. All right, team. Last call, guys. I think we're about ready to wrap it up here. If anybody's ready to sign up for the Patreon, again, this is a last call before the contributions process for the first of each month. Join on the Patreon. You can join there at the $11 level, but again, you can join at any time and get involved as a leading member in our community. And thank you again to Lori, to Jalissa, and to Abigail, and to Kai as well, our newer supporters on Patreon. So cool. All right, if you guys are ready to wrap up this broadcast, drop an 1111 in the chat. And if anybody's signing up for the Patreon, drop a 555 in the chat. Or if anybody's upgrading their pledge, we'll do one more reading if anyone wants to upgrade their pledge for like a relatively moderate amount, opposed to like $1, which is still funny. So, all right, all right, team. I think we're about ready to wrap it up, and that's fine. Cool. All right, team. Well, we are going to wrap up this broadcast, and I thank everyone again so much for joining in. And Hatchdog, I love you. And again, for everybody joining in, I appreciate you guys being here. That was fun. That was 4 readings. I hope you guys just got as much love out of that as you could, and may you continue to integrate it. We got a team meditation happening tomorrow morning. As far as I know, I think Pisces is facilitating that. And we'll post an update for the link in tomorrow morning. And again, that's at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So beautiful. Awesome. Yeah, for those of you just tuned in on TikTok, we're just at the end of our team tarot reading. But if you click the link in my profile, you can join in on YouTube there as well. So, all right. Okay, guys, last call. If there's anybody ready to sign up for the Patreon, drop a 555 in the chat. We'll give you just another moment. But other than that, I think we're pretty much ready to call it a night. And yeah, that was a good broadcast. So I appreciate everybody joining in. So for those of you who haven't already yet, feel free to just connect to our team chat, connect to our Discord server. You can find the link for that in the info for this video on YouTube, as well as in my profile link for those of you on Instagram. And again, by joining onto the Discord, you can get updates for our podcast, for our weekly team meetings. You'll get to see what some of the leading members are up to. And again, you can also get more involved with like just some of the communication and get your foot in the door for joining as a leading member down the road when it works for you. Star Soul, dropping the 555 in the chat. Star Soul, I thought, now excuse me if I'm wrong, Star Soul, but are you not already signed up for the Patreon? Is there more than one Star Soul? Because like Star Soul, you were on confirm for me, Star Soul. Were you already signed up for the Patreon? Are you re-signing up? Wait, okay. Oh, what? Okay, Okay, yeah, Starsoul87 signed up on Patreon. Is that the same Starsoul? So Starsoul, are you just joking? Are you already signed up? Yeah, like you're already signed up for the Patreon, correct? Confirm if you're... Okay. You're pulling my leg. I'm too tired to try and coordinate who isn't or who isn't pulling my leg. Starsoul nonetheless, thank you. Alright. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, what? There's more than one Starsoul? How does this make sense? So, alright, team. Alright, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you guys so much again for joining in. That was fun. That was a blast. I may go back on live just on TikTok for a little bit just to kind of like hang out with people. We'll see. Just kind of chill out into the evening. We'll see. I don't know. It probably makes more sense for me to just wind down for tonight. And we got another day of exciting, paradigm-shifting goodness coming your way. So again, if you're tuned in right now, pew, 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 pew. The grid, guys, the grid. Can you see the grid? Meow, meow, meow. It's my laser pointer, in case it wasn't obvious, so. Cool. All right, if you guys haven't already yet, be sure to click the link in my profile, join onto the Discord chat. Please feel free to leave a comment in the Discord chat, just being like, yo, this was awesome. I'm glad I got to tune in. And again, you guys are welcome to join on the Patreon. After today, contributions will process on the 1st of October. But if you sign up real quick, you can still get in. Or if any of you guys want to upgrade your pledge, you're welcome to. And the leading members, see you tomorrow for the team meditation, or everyone see you tomorrow for the team meditation, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And leading members see you tomorrow for the work period at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you're choosing to join that, and the recordings are online. And if you guys are new, go check out the recordings from today's work period. It's really, really, really good. So, cool. All right, thank you guys so much. Send me a DM on Instagram if you have any questions, or into the Discord chat. I appreciate everybody being here. It was fun. Thank you, as always, for being able to join in, for deepening our connection as a team, and for continuing to ripple this inspiration out further out into the dream. So, beautiful. All right. Much love, everybody. Send you so much love. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will see you guys in the future. Until next time, keep it shifty. Much love. Pew, 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 pew. All right. Talk to you guys later.